NBA All-Star Game took place last night in Los Angeles. The U.S. Stars team beat the Jaylen Brown's U.S. Stripes team in the final 47-21 in a 12-minute quarter. Anthony Edwards scored 8 points in the final, but added the game-winning shot in one of the earlier games. He was voted MVP of the evening.
You know what they say they're the best players in the world. Yeah. So beating them is the best feeling in the world.
Brown scored a total of 19 points through his 3 games of work. Celtics are back in action Thursday night on the road against Golden State. The Winter Olympics are continuing this morning in Italy. The U.S. men's hockey team swept their 3-game preliminary schedule. They beat Germany 5-1 yesterday. Austin Matthews scored twice. The U.S. will be the 2 seed in the knockout round. They'll play the winner of tomorrow's first-round game between Sweden and Latvia in the quarterfinals on Wednesday. The U.S. women's team plays Sweden in the semifinals at 10:40 this morning. Red Sox held their first full squad workout yesterday in Fort Myers, Florida. Sox CEO Sam Kennedy told the media yesterday that if Alex Bregman really wanted to be here, he would be instead of in Chicago. Tyler Reddick won the Daytona 500 in a car co-owned by Michael Jordan, and Colin Morikawa won the Pebble Beach Pro-Am by 1 shot. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Awaken 180. We all love the word free, so does Awaken 180. Medication-free, side effect-free, and free support for life. Awaken180weightloss.com. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 6:30.
3 legendary franchises on one legendary radio station. It's the Sports Hub.
Ladies and gentlemen, I need all of you to stop what you're doing and listen.
Toucher
You might hate me, but you're listening.
and Hardy
Don't bother me. I'm at the Pickle Palace.
on 98.5
I know what I'm capable of.
He said something about peanut butter, right?
Yeah, boning, baby. Make America nut again.
That's gross. That's disgusting.
Let's talk about cheese.
What are you going to have for lunch?
I was at dinner with my wife and a friend.
Kitty, kitty, pussy, kitty, kitty, kitty. Flap, flap, flap.
Shut up, I'm trying to talk to Paul.
Toucher and Hardy
Good luck trying to put your finger in it when there's a million holes.
on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
Let's go.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Good morning. We are Toucher and Hardy, Town Fair Tire Studios, 617-779-0985. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. You can download the podcast wherever you download podcasts. Big show on the way today on President's Day, where apparently no one is working because
It's the new Christmas.
there was no traffic whatsoever. Pretty obvious that there is not a lot of people out and about. Not a lot of people out and about.
I don't remember. Well, I mean, for my entire adult life, I guess I've been working on radio. But maybe this happens to me every year. I don't realize or don't recognize President's Day as being like this truly universal holiday. Maybe it is more so like in Boston than it is in other places, but it doesn't seem like everybody has a 3-day weekend.
Well, they're picking up trash today in Newton.
Oh.
So they have signs all over the place that they're picking up trash. So
That's going to upset people.
what, that they're picking up trash?
Yes.
Too mumuch noise, Fred.
Like
Too much noise on a holiday.
I mean, if someone's going to get upset over nothing, I feel like Newton is one of those towns.
Why would it upset people that they are picking up trash?
Well, because you would not expect them to. I'm just saying that people in Newton love to complain even when it's something good.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I would think that you would like it if they were picking up trash because
I would.
Well, you lived in Canton where they just didn't pick up trash.
Yeah, only for like 2 months.
Yeah, well, you lived in filth.
No.
No. Remember, he took his own trash.
Well,
Actually, collected the neighbor's trash.
I was trying to veer away from that because I didn't want him to be a union buster, which he was in that.
Scab.
He was a bit of a scab. They put a big inflatable rat in front of his house because Hardy was hauling off the trash himself. When the visual of trash laying all over the place would have been preferable to everything else. But yes, there is no one out on the roads today. I hope everyone had a very good weekend. I saw the movie Wuthering Heights.
Oh, was it as sexy as I've been led to believe?
A lot of sex with clothes on. Margot Robbie shows no skin, so there was not that I even really cared about it, but then I did realize afterwards, like yesterday actually, I saw it Saturday. I realized yesterday that wait a second, because I know someone who watches that Pretty Little Lies show. Have you heard about that?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of boobies in that show. It's called Pretty Little Lies, right? That's about the people in college. And Katie Seagal's son is in that thing.
I'm pretty sure my wife watches it, but
okay.
I don't
want to be like saying some kid show and then I'm wrong, but like I do believe this is the name of it.
Pretty Little Liars.
This is the
Liars.
one. This is the one that not only my wife watches, but my daughter has watch parties for it at college.
Okay,
they're all into it.
Yeah, lots of college sex. I mean, it's set. At least the first season is pretty much set they're in college. And they're having sex all over the place, and there's boobies all over the place. And so I saw the Wuthering Heights movie. I didn't see it with my daughter or anything. I saw the Wuthering Heights movie, and I don't believe there's any nudity in it. And in fact, in like Margot Robbie, they have like a montage of her having sex with this man, and they're always having sex when she has her dress on. Like she'll be on top of him with her dress on. Or he'll be having sex with her like outside with her dress on.
Yeah, I don't care for that.
Mm-hmm. No, you would like more like she moved over her long jean shorts.
I would rather she pulled down her cargo shorts.
Yes. Well, then that would be nudity. So, well, I guess you could shoot it from top, but she there's really. It was described as like very sexual, but it's not at all. It's not good.
So what is what would you say, just off the top of your head, are the most explicit mainstream movies? And you have to go back to the 80s and 90s for this.
Well, we've been over in the 80s. Every comedy had boobies for no reason.
Right, but when you're talking about wow, that's very, very sexual. There was movie. I don't think I ever saw anything other than the sex scenes from it, but the Mickey Rourke
9.5 weeks.
Yeah, 9.5 weeks, and there was another one with Lisa Bonet.
Oh yeah, what was that movie? I remember that.
I mean, people were really, really upset about that one.
See, I pretty much was focused on Friday After Dark on Cinemax.
Angel Heart. That's the other Mickey Rourke movie I was thinking.
Well, there's Buffalo 66, which had the real fellatio in it, where Chloe Savin, whatever her name is.
Okay. Yeah. And who was the guy in it?
I don't know. He's annoying. But the New York guy that made the movie. Yeah, he wrote a movie where he got real fellatio.
Okay.
And now she's all like upset about it because she doesn't think that it was necessary. Well, Caligula. If they had real sex and they had real actors, but no, I was more of a Friday After Dark guy. So Young Lady Chatterley, even the guns in Malibu Express in those movies, they didn't have actual sex in them, but they had boobies.
So Angel Heart, 1987, 10 seconds had to be cut from the film to avoid an X rating. So that was explicit. Basic Instinct. There's some good sex scenes in that one.
I don't know if I ever saw Basic Instinct.
It's not great. It's pretty silly.
I mean, Newman's in it, and I know that, and he's sweating very, very hard in it.
That's right.
Again, I had very little time for mainstream mainstream like sex films. Like when there was a collection of Friday After Dark European films that could be shown, which is funny because I wonder what the market for those was before straight to video. Like Young Lady Chatterley had to be real movies. Richard Belzer's wife is the star.
Yeah, there wasn't a market to do anything anything else with a movie, I don't think. So you had to be hoping for some type of actual release.
Yeah, Hard Ticket to Hawaii, and those were probably straight to video. Are you aware of those movies, Hardy?
No.
Okay, were you, John? Because we've talked about this before.
Hard Ticket to Hawaii, I never saw. I don't know that
Okay,
one.
so Andy Sedaris, we've talked about this on the show a lot. Andy Sedaris was the director of Monday Night Football when it first came out, and he is credited for being the guy who decided to show hot women in the stands. Andy Sedaris. I guess Monday Night Football was the first sporting events where they would focus on hot women in the stands and titillate the audience. So he pivoted from that, and he started making movies with Playboy Playmates, and they were really low budget. Now, Guns had Danny Trejo and Eric Estrada, so, I mean, he would get big names in them.
Right.
But in Guns had a woman named Pandora Peaks who had very large breasts. And hence Guns. Guns for guns that they shoot, and guns for pendulous bosoms.
Yabos.
Yeah, udders. You know what I'm saying?
Was she the one in that movie, My Tutor, or was that someone else?
You're acting like you don't know.
I don't know the answer to that. I remember the scene where they break through the movie screen that's X-rated, and there's a woman right there.
Huh?
In My Tutor, there's a scene where a car goes through a movie screen, and on the movie screen is an X-rated movie of a woman with enormous breasts. And I thought that was
no, that's not in My Tutor. That's not the scene in My Tutor.
Oh,
no, the scene in My Tutor is when they go to the whorehouse, and Christian Glover's there, and Christian Glover gets put on a wheel, tied to a wheel that spins around, and the other guy gets drunk, and he's with a woman with large breasts, a famous woman, actually famous. You don't know the name of the woman?
If you give me a hint, I'll probably get it. I don't know off the top of my head.
Her first name is Kitten.
Oh, Natividad.
Yes, of course. Yes. One of Russ Meyer's fiancés at one point.
Yes.
Yeah. Kitten Natividad. Yeah, of course.
Yes.
Everyone does. I mean, that was... Yes. The problem with Kitten Natividad is when she got, or however you pronounce her name, she got into pornography. But she got into pornography very old and very fat. So, like when porn first came on the internet, I searched her because I obviously, My Tutor and everything, you were like, oh, wow. And then you're like, holy moly. She did hardcore pornography. And you're like, this is fantastic. And then, no, it was not. It was not fantastic at all.
By the way, when I tried to Google kitten natividad, the first thing that came up in the Google search was kitten nativity scene, which I think would be fun, maybe for John's home next Christmas.
It's the only thing
Imagine a nativity scene, but it's all cats.
It's the only thing we don't have. So I'll check into that.
Yeah, I mean, you figure that there has to be parallel Animal Kingdom things. I wonder in the Animal Kingdom if there was a miraculous birth and there was a kitten that everyone sat around.
Yeah.
Or there was a bird one that John was at, and they brought gum and paper wrappers and sticks instead of frankincense and myrrh.
I just found
He has born. Praise him.
Wise men, bring a saucer of milk.
Give gifts. By the way, there's a letterbox DVD of Hard Ticket to Hawaii.
That's the name of a kitten natividad movie. You can't even say it on the air.
Yeah, it's gay people in fast lane, basically.
Yes, but there's an alliteration. Something in the fast lane.
Oh, my God.
Yeah,
I'm unaware of that.
Put that in big. I wonder if you have that in a theater. If you just put those in lights, put those things in lights.
So you saw that. You saw the Wuthering Heights.
Yes.
I saw 9 Inch Nails on Friday night. Which was an excellent show. The only thing that I screwed up was arriving too early. And although the DJ was very good, it is my wish to, walk into a concert right as, the band that I'm there to see is taking the stage. And that, let me tell you, that DJ, not like other opening acts where they keep the volume lower so that, when the main act comes on, it really blows you away and it's sensory overload. I think they let the DJ be louder than when Trent and the rest of the boys got up there on stage. A little too much.
Yeah.
A little too much with the... And I know people love the DJs and they spend a lot of money, and these guys, they make so much money. So much money. I remember having an argument with my wife about a friend of hers that was putting on an event where they hired a DJ to come. They said, yeah, he's getting like $100,000. I said, no, he's not. It's ridiculous. Yeah, these guys, like the big-time name DJs that I still don't know their names, they make so much money for doing this stuff, and I think they're all doing basically the same thing. Like there's nothing really new happening in the world of DJing. They're boom, 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 it's like the same stuff, and people are down there dancing to it. I'm like, you're at the TD Garden. There's a guy up there with the computers.
Just gotta feel the vibe, man.
What? I did not. I did not.
With you?
But that was good. And then I was kind of minding my own business at home on Friday when my daughter texted me. She said, "Are you coming to see me this weekend?" I said, "What?" Because I had expressed some disappointment that I wasn't going to be able to see her before she went back to school after her 6 weeks off for the holidays. She was home in mid-December and didn't go back until January 28th. But I had, left for my cruise some days before that. So, she was home for a few days after I had already gone. And I said something like, oh, well, I'll have to come up and see you at some point. And maybe we had decided that this was the weekend. I said, oh, boy. And I said to Marcy, I'm like, do you want to go see Katie? She's like, no, I just took her back to school like a week ago. I'm not going.
No. Your turn. Go.
I didn't. And I didn't bother asking the boy, because I know he wasn't going to go.
You think you're going to get him in a car
No.
an hour and a half each way? No.
Nor was he wanted there either. So you
Yeah.
know what I did? I took the dog.
Oh, I'm sure she was very happy with that.
She's a good car dog, and she doesn't mind it. So yesterday morning, I'm like, all right. I made a lunch reservation somewhere and drove the 2 hours out to Amherst and walked the dog on the campus to go pick up my daughter. And we walked back the car and went to lunch, cracked the windows for the dog. She's happy as a clam. Drove her back to her dorm and drove the 2 hours home.
That's a good day.
Well, is it?
A really good day.
Is that a good day?
Sure it was.
Wait, why did she ask if you wanted to go up there?
Because apparently I had expressed some disappointment at not being able to see her right before she left to go back to school. And she took that honestly, and maybe we had discussed me coming up there at some point.
I don't think that happened. I don't think you discussed it at all. I think that she just called because she wanted you there, and you're like, okay,
I'll tell you.
Trucked it out there.
One of the things was
Good dad.
Her roommate left on like Thursday night. And she's had stuff to do. There was, some party she went to on Saturday night. She has other friends there, but a lot of people had gone home or elsewhere for the long weekend. And I think she was, just a little bored and a little lonely. So yeah, I drove out to Amherst to go to lunch.
How many times do you think? Because I went to school far away from where I lived, so that wasn't an option. But how many times do you think your parents went to Michigan State?
Twice.
Yeah.
Once to drop me off and once for graduation.
Yeah. Because I went to school in Florida, so my parents came. I think at least one of my parents came to drop me off, and there was like a freshman time where like the parents were involved with stuff for a couple days before school started. Yeah, and then obviously they were never there, except for when I was in the hospital. Then they came down. Then one of them had to come down, but they were never there.
Now I always had a car at school, so I could go back and forth whenever I needed to and wanted to be home for something. But no, there were no visits to my campus to see anything that I recall ever.
Yeah, now I would obviously like it if I could see my children, but I wonder if it's better. It's better if the kids are further away, because then you're not allowed. Then there's not that option. Then you got to kind of like, you got to learn to be alone.
Mm-hmm.
Well, it was. I mean, I didn't mind it, but that was when I was driving back. I had that thought. I'm like, God, this reminds me of the time my dad drove up to Michigan State on a Sunday afternoon to take me out to lunch.
Because I would have done the same thing. If it was one of my kids, I would have done the same thing. But the thing is that maybe it's better not to have that option. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would have...
For both sides, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, I mean, more for the kid. Like,
but I mean, for the parent, the temptation is to go, if there's a problem or something, the temptation is to get in the car, okay, I'll go take care of it. If you're far enough away, both sides have to learn to live with it.
Because, like, say if my daughter went to, like, BU, and I know if my daughter went to BU, she'd come home all the time, and I would love that, but I don't know if that's the best thing.
Yeah.
Like, you know, and then I would be annoyed because I know I would have paid for housing. And then, you know, I'm like, well, you're here all the time, which I again would like, but
it depends
selfishly.
It depends on what the needs are. Like I have a friend who's has a kid, you know, close by at a school near Boston. And there've been a couple of times when it's like, oh, thank goodness we were so close. But if for like non-emergency situations, yeah, I think there's something to that where you just don't have the option of hopping in the car and being there. And like 2 hours is the cutoff. If it were over 2 hours on any of these trips, I would have second thoughts. But the fact that I was able to drive there in an hour 52, like, okay.
Well, it's taking me an hour and 52 minutes to get to my son's high school where he commutes every day. So, I mean,
exactly.
I got in the spring. I got to go up. Believe me, I'm there all the time. So, if I was you, I definitely would have done it. I'm not saying I wouldn't. I would have been happy to do it. I would have been like, oh, okay, cool. But
I love when things don't go according to plan. You know, and they just kind of like fall flat and of the storybook ending. And I did have that moment as. I was walking the dog up to her dorm, and she came down to see the dog. And, you know, you want this hallmark moment where the dog sees her and gets all excited. And the dog was busy sniffing the ground, looked over her shoulder, and saw my daughter and was like, yeah, you, okay. And then just went back to sniffing a dirty snowbank. She's like, why isn't she happy to see me? I'm like,
man.
I don't know, but and for some reason that pleases me. You didn't see that. You didn't get that Instagram moment, and I like it.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know.
What's wrong with you?
I don't know. It's like I always root for
all the things
for the horse to not win the Triple Crown.
This
I'm like,
is different, though.
Please don't let this freaking horse win the Triple Crown. Please.
Rooting for your daughter to be upset. What is that?
She's like,
oh my God.
My dad was like that with that stupid dog that he had that died. That dog was like obviously abused and stuff before they got her. Ginger, the one that bit me in the nose.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And she would follow my father everywhere, which he like loved. But even when she didn't follow him, my dad would be like, Ginger. Like they were completely codependent. And it drove everyone crazy, not just me. It drove my mom crazy. It drove the kids crazy. It drove me crazy. It drove my ex-wife crazy. Like it was so annoying because like, the dog obviously was like way too into my dad and didn't like anyone else, like to the point of like being afraid of everyone else.
Yeah.
And but my dad, the crazy thing is like the dog would finally like be like just like sitting in the living room with us, and my dad would be in his office, and my dad you'd hear go like Ginger. And we're like, what the hell are you calling her for? And he's like, because she doesn't like being around other people. And it's like, well, no one's trapping her here. Like, she's sitting here. Like, I mean, no. Now, listen.
It's actually quite healthy for the dog to be able to be away from the alpha.
Yeah, like, no one's petting her or anything. Like, let's not go crazy. But, like, she's sitting here, like, away from you. My ex-wife's dog now is started to walk into the crate on her own and then sit there and whine as if she cannot get out. Like, walk into the crate. I have not seen this, but it's been described to me as the dog will walk into the crate. We always joke that this dog, if you handed it a gun, would point it at itself and pull the trigger.
Wow.
Like when I go over there, the dog will get on the couch and then put her paw on me and be like, "Oh,
Help me."
Oh, life is too much. Like if I come over there, I'll come over there and she'll go to a certain spot and then wag her tail and whine like there's an invisible wall between me and her, and I have to like walk up to her and like touch her because she like can't. She has a lot of invisible walls that she can't cross.
Is this the same dog that's powerful enough to jump over the fence?
Yes.
Wow.
That's Lemmy. Yes.
This is Lemmy. Wow.
Well,
Okay.
yeah, I mean, her own strength is not, it doesn't help her mentally. I mean, you could be a bodybuilder that, has schizophrenia, or massive depression. But my kids joke about it. Even my ex-wife jokes about it. Like, yeah, Lemmy's just like, oh. I mean, she's really affectionate to us, to no one else. Like, she's quite bad with other people, but like with us, she's like incredibly needy and affectionate. But yeah, she's one of these dogs that like puts her paw on you and goes like, and her face is just like, whoa, why is life so hard? Please. Could you poison the food?
Help me shed this mortal coil.
Please poison the food. What is that, bleach? Maybe you could pour that in the water bowl. Get me a little dead. All right. We'll be back in just a moment with all the myriad of things that happened last evening.
You're listening to
Everyone agrees that I'm the only one who's not wrong.
Right or wrong, they're back. Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
Did you catch a game last night?
Hello, we are Toucher and Hardy. What happened last night's brought to you by Leonard Hair Transplant Associates, where your hair doesn't have to be a game of what happened. So change your lettuce and change your life with Dr. Matthew Lopresti at 1-800-GET-HAIR. Hardy, what's going down?
Well, it was NBA All-Star Weekend, and Bob...
No, duh. Tell us something we don't know.
I watched every single second of it. It was awesome. From the Friday night festivities to the Saturday game or games.
Skills. 3-point dunk.
And then the round robin competition of the Stars versus the Stripes versus the World Team. I mean, it had everything. It even had Bob Costas out there monologuing for quite some time.
I missed that.
Okay, so Bob Costas got out there and he was giving a speech out there on the court. But listen, Costas is a pro. He knows how to pay things off.
And with the return of the NBA on NBC, we welcome back its soundtrack, Round Ball Rock. So to get the festivities started, here's the man who composed that iconic track, John Tesh.
So I heard
Listen
no one
to
was
that
there.
crowd.
No. Yeah, it was very empty.
And so, like, the get-in price was like $800. And so, I don't know why, because you would think that it was supply and demand. But what I heard on the radio was that the get-in price was, like, so high in the secondary market and it never lowered. So, I mean, who's going to pay $1,000 to go to the All-Star game? Like a fan. I know, like, you know, celebrities, that's a big thing in, you know, some entertainment sectors that go into the All-Star game, or it used to be. I don't know if it is anymore. What do I know anymore? But that might have been something that they never lowered the surge pricing. But, yeah, I guess that it was quite empty. There was people that were at the game apparently saying, wow, there's no one here. And you can kind of hear it. I mean, Tesh would have usually brought people maybe streaming onto the court just to get
Round
to touch
Ball
them.
Rock. So to get the festivities started, here's the man who composed that iconic track, John Tesh.
Yeah, because you figure if anyone was there, I mean, women would be throwing panties. Panties. So when Tesh plays live, have you seen this video? So when Tesh plays live now,
Yes, I've seen it.
Okay, so you've seen the video when Tesh plays live now. He plays the answering machine message that he left himself,
Right.
where he, you know, just scats.
Had the idea, called his own home.
Yeah. And I like that he does that because he plays. Yeah,
No, not that one.
It's the right. People are searching for anything Tim Robinson did that was remotely funny on Saturday Night Live, and they brought that up, and
That was the one.
Yeah.
and it's not that even that funny. But Tim Robinson's great, but the Saturday Night Live was not as fine as he would tell you. Was not his finest moment. People like found out, oh, he was on Saturday Night Live as a cast member for a season, and they searched for anything he did, and that's the one. And you're going, well, it's not the funniest sketch of all time.
And not even the oddest moment from an NBA All-Star pregame. That honor will forever belong to Fergie in 2018 when she sang the national anthem.
Oh, the rivers we watched were so gallantly streaming.
Now, remember when Fergie allegedly peed herself?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
You haven't heard much from Fergie since the peeing incident. She wasn't even originally in the Black Eyed Peas.
Oh, she almost didn't make it. I had no idea.
She's not on the first 2 albums.
Wow.
No.
They're not terrible. They're not good, but they're not terrible.
The more you know.
I remember we played them at 99X because they were one of the good ones that you could play. Couldn't play Tribe Called Quest or De La Soul for some reason, even though those weren't like, bling rap. They were, you figured that you could have played those if you were playing something, but whatever.
Beastie Boys are fine.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's because they incorporated instruments.
That's right.
But you could play the Black Eyed Peas. You could play them, and you could play Jurassic 5. These were the alternative radio-approved rap groups.
Ozo Motley. I mean, they weren't a rap group, but
we didn't play them. But I mean, you have to remember, I was in Atlanta where there was no scene.
Yeah.
No rap scene back then in the early 2000s. There was no one around.
Fergie owned the pants peeing incident. She said it was a combination of a full bladder and a rush to get to the stage. She said, I'm running and we jump and do Let's Get It Started, and I get crazy and I jump and I run across stage. My adrenaline was going, and I wish it didn't happen. It was so embarrassing.
Oh, no. Don't be silly. Own it.
It's really something. She peed her pants.
They're in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame now. They have the stained pants.
Oh, I thought you meant Black Eyed Peas were in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Well, yeah, they were.
Don't tell Eddie Trunk.
No, Eddie Trunk. That's how I know Eddie Trunk threw a fit. The Black Eyed Peas, the first ballot. They got him before Kansas, which was a big issue in the Trunk universe, in the Trunk canon.
Well,
the Empire Strikes Trunk.
You get all these NBA stars out there, and of course they're going to be
Return of Blackie. Well,
they're going to be asked about stuff not relating to the All-Star game because who cares? So Jaylen Brown at the All-Star game asked about what else? Jason Tatum.
I didn't get to watch that one, but I've seen some previous to that, and he looked good, to be honest.
Please be honest.
Like he's progressing along. He's checking off all the right boxes. Obviously, he needs to take his time to mentally, spiritually, emotionally make sure everything he feel right before he making any decisions. But in terms of as what I've seen, he looks pretty damn good.
Didn't Jason Tatum on NBA TV release like a whole teaser video for his comeback story?
Oh, he did.
Yeah.
That was in Slack.
Yeah.
But I didn't watch it.
It's
you should watch it.
Boy,
right
did
now.
you miss it. Oh my God.
Yeah, it's selective editing that there's a lot of stuff in Slack. I appreciate all of it. That one I did not click on. I don't need to see the
That's
teaser.
too bad.
Can't imagine it. I take it was good or it would not have been released. I take it that he was playing well.
It's him lifting weights.
Well, no, it's the stuff that I saw from the trailer, it's him like doing really like low-level stretches, like jamming his foot underneath like a door frame to like, stretch a particular part of the Achilles and stuff like that.
Well, don't blow it. I mean, if it's that good, I want to see it.
As Ryan pointed out, there's a good Grandy call in there. In the New York Minute, everything has changed. They
That's
worked
right.
that in there too.
That's right.
Well, that's when he thought,
It's
he had New York on his
you got
mind.
You got to go from the starting point. You have to find out how he got it.
Completely went over John's head.
That was just a Freudian slip on Grandy's part.
Yes. Yes.
It's all New York all the time.
That's right.
But I mean, out of the pantheon of great calls,
Loop around and find out.
it's hard to remember all of them. So, John, who won, the Stripes or the Stars?
I'm glad you asked. The Stars won.
Okay.
47-21 in the final.
And the Stars were the younger people?
Yeah.
Yes. The Stripes had all the old heads. LeBron, Kevin Durant.
Well, we'll get into Kevin Durant. He had quite a weekend.
Yes. But, yes, Kevin Brown, I'm part of the losing team in the final.
Apparently, Victor Wembanyama was actually upset that his team was not playing defense.
He was the only guy out there taking it hyper seriously. So, I mean, that's something. That's one guy, anyway, as opposed to no one.
As much as, I suppose in theory, if I was ever to watch it, I would want them to compete. But that being said, I wouldn't want to be the one guy competing.
Well, he didn't care. He was the guy who took it very, very seriously. On the whole, more people tended to care than usual.
Kawhi Leonard was like unbelievable, right? Like
in what amounted to the semifinal game, he scored 31 points in 12 minutes.
Yeah. So I mean, that's impressive.
Yes. Yes, he was very impressive. It reminded you of what he used to be like.
I can tell you this, the international world team starters, because of injury, because Doncic, Gilgeous Alexander, Giannis, and Jokic did not play.
Correct.
Which is a bit of a blow to the world team. You had Pascal Siakam.
Yep.
Then Wembanyama, Karl Anthony Towns, Jamal Murray, Denny Avdija, Sengun,
Alperen Sengun.
Sengun. I knew it was Goon, so I knew that. Norman Powell.
Yep.
And a lot of talk of, and I have heard this, a lot of talk of Norman Powell is international?
Yes.
No, but he's not really. I think his mom's from Jamaica.
Well, neither is Karl Anthony Towns. His mother's Dominican. So
yeah, they were trying to flesh out that world team.
There was no way he was going to play any other way. Yeah. So that's,
Yeah, they were trying to flesh out that world team a little bit because the name Norman Powell doesn't scream to you
that's true.
International.
Right.
Giannis, and Luka Doncic, those are names that you say, oh, that's an international. Nikola Jokic, you go, oh, that sounds like someone from like Chara land, but but Norman Powell not so much. Well, congratulations to the NBA. They've knocked it out of the park again. That sport is in a little bit of trouble.
It's
really
funny.
is.
A lot of people are saying the sport's now going in the right direction after last night.
No, it's in trouble. Believe me, very few sports ratings going down. That's not happening. It's not happening certainly with football. It's not happening with baseball. It's not happening with hockey. Hockey just is what it is. Basketball is the one where the ratings are going down. My son asked me if I thought the NBA would go away ever. That was his big question. He said, do you think the NBA will ever go away? It's so boring. Do you think the NBA will ever go away? And it's just my son. But apparently him and his friends, who are all heavily involved in athletics, cannot stand the NBA for whatever reason.
No, but I
mean, got caught up in curling and everything in the Olympics.
Yeah, but I mean, if baseball can make significant changes to the game in order to make it more entertaining and watchable, yeah, the NBA should be looking at doing similar things because the regular season NBA can be tough as an understatement.
But that's
we do have to break. We can come back and start this discussion again in just a moment.
And in a New York minute, everything has changed.
Went over the All-Star game. I have a feeling not so many people listening in real time today, given the lack of humanity out on the roads. Sometimes, so John, you could really cut loose today.
Have at it.
All right.
The world is yours.
Oh, boy.
I mean, he's been all he is Nick Fuentes this, Nick Fuentes that, and then I mean, finally you could expose these values that you hold so dear on the radio. Self-loathing is what some may call it. All right, so very good. What else is going on? As if anyone cares, but there is a podcast that people will listen to.
Yes,
and we are available on YouTube forever. So this will be down in history for people to uncover. So best be on your A game anyway. Don't rest on your laurels because no one's listening.
Yeah.
Blind Scott's been on hold the whole show.
That's good. He doesn't take a day off. Look at that.
Put him on.
Oh, well,
All
if
right.
you insist. Blind Scott, hello.
Hey, what's going on? I've been resting up to get on this show for the past 10 days. I stopped calling you overnight, and I've been practicing over on WFAN. I broke out the radio ratings on WFAN over the weekend, and I broke down the local market Boston radio ratings on their show for 15 minutes. And when I was doing it, they cut in and said they sat next to the competition across the street or whatever. But I had a pretty good weekend. On social media, I gained 2,000 followers. I've been doing these dancing videos and stuff, and I had a tweet go viral with 2,000 likes and 500 bookmarks asking people if they would date me, you know what I'm saying? So I'm very loved by the algorithm right now. So I've been away for a little bit from the show. I was posting in the YouTube chat for a while on the Toucher and Hardy show, but it gave me wicked bad back pain. I could barely stand up at one point because I was gripping my phone so tight. It made my back so sore, so I had to recover from that. So I might head back there. But another thing I'd like to point out is I've heard about this new pickleball competition that Fred might be getting into, and I'd like to be Fred's pickleball partner. And
you're blind.
They could pose a problem or two, Scott.
But it's like ping pong, though. So Fred could
you can play ping pong?
Oh. Well, no, I could play air hockey. In that other game you stand on the side, you spin the thing and it kicks the ball. Blind people play air hockey. If you go to a school for the blind, they have games in their blind chest, blind air hockey, which is for the blind foosball. That's it. Ham radio operations, they would have that. You know what I'm saying? They have airline seats where you can practice sitting on an airplane. You know what I'm saying? It's they have blind woodworking, at that Carroll Center for the Blind that you live next to, Fred. They got a whole woodworking shop for the blind, and they have a
I have a friend who's a teacher at the Carroll Center for the Blind, Scott. I am very involved in the community.
Oh, really? Yeah, I was a student at the Carroll Center for the Blind for a long time.
All right, thank you, Blind Scott.
All right, there we go.
Blind Scott has access to the ratings, and we don't. That's
I was going to ask him next time you get a batch, could you send him our way?
Tremendous.
No, we are only getting monthlies now.
Yes,
that has been confirmed. Yes. So tomorrow, I would imagine we would get the January monthly.
Here's hoping.
No, we will. That has been. I don't think it would be today because of the holiday. So I would guess tomorrow.
Yeah. Well, if people are catching up later on the podcast, Fred, this is specifically for them because I don't know if you were tuned in watching the AT&T Pebble Beach from Pro-Am.
I heard JT the Brick saying about it and how he was rooting for the Americans because then he goes out and flies his flag.
Yeah,
he's that patriotic.
God bless him.
He roots for
this.
He roots for the United States. He really went on a rant saying how much he loves the United States and the golfers from there and how he will raise the flag if the golfers win.
And don't be fooled, one Colin Morikawa is indeed from
Well, that's
the
what he was
United
saying.
States,
He was
yes.
saying that he was minus 21. I was in the car. I was listening to that. It was riveting.
Yes.
Morikawa is the winner at Pebble Beach.
This one is going to mean so much to him. And just like we heard from Rory last year, winning at Pebble Beach just means more.
Have you ever been to Italy?
No.
Because sometimes when you're eating and you're having kawa, they'll go, can I help you? And you go, I went, Morikawa. Thank you.
Every day.
You all right?
Every day I go to play something, and you don't have the goddamn computer turned up or this thing turned up.
Just turn
every goddamn day.
Just turn it all up. Every time we go on the air, just get in the habit of turning it all up.
Yeah.
You've enraged Hardy.
Thank you.
He's in Adolfo voice now. He's so mad.
Hey, you didn't pay for my stuff. Hey,
can I have a flight?
Can pay for me to stay in a hotel. I'm coming up to Boston. You are? Yeah, I'm just gonna need money for a hotel,
a place to stay,
and then the flights,
maybe car rental,
and then hey. Can you move the flights around even though you're not the one flying?
Yeah.
Did you make a few phone calls?
Yeah.
Think about that. I bought him flights to come up here. Whatever, that's fine. Like he didn't have any money. Like whatever, I wanted to see him. Like that's nice. But then think about the audacity to ask me to change the flights.
I don't know.
And he wasn't even hanging with me. He was just like wanted to stick around. So I had to change the flights.
Wow.
So like it's not money at that point. It's like aggravation. Like then I have to check with him that these you know what I'm saying? Like then it becomes like a half an hour of doing stuff for him.
It wasn't just that, because I was in the room when he was doing this to you. He's like, I don't know when I'm going home, Frank. Can we leave it open-ended?
Yeah.
Could you call me later and I'll let you know?
And I don't know if I have a place to stay. And it's like, whoa, all right, Adolfo. Like hold on.
He's America's guest.
Can I get a direct and Delta Comfort?
Amazing.
And he's like, I could stay in your basement. And then I'm like, well, I don't like people taking dumps in the basement toilet because it's like a whole, that whole operation of getting all the sewage up. Like I just think it's better not to put toilet paper in there. I don't want to keep having to fix it. And with Adolfo, I mean, if he stays because the guest room's in the basement, if he stays in the basement, he's gonna have to take dumps.
Yeah.
Hey, I don't got a case. Sorry.
Thank you, Adolfo. He don't text me anymore. It's been a long time. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Kevin Durant is at it again.
Stay. Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting.
Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
The NBA All-Star Game was actually 4 mini games last night with one world team and a pair of U.S. teams. And in the final, the USA Stars beat USA Stripes 47-21 in a 12-minute contest. Anthony Edwards of the winning team was voted the MVP. Jaylen Brown held the 4 points in a loss in the final game. Celtics get back together Thursday night on the road against Golden State. At the Winter Olympics, the U.S. men's hockey team beat Germany yesterday 5-1. They advanced to the knockout round undefeated. They're the 2 seed. They'll play the winner of tomorrow's first round game between Sweden and Latvia in the quarterfinals on Wednesday. The U.S. women's team plays Sweden in the semifinals at 10:40 a.m. this morning. Red Sox held their first full squad workout yesterday in Fort Myers. The roster's believed to be better this season than last. Sox CEO Sam Kennedy is a big fan of the man who put it together, Craig Breslow.
His job is to build a team. Very, very pleased with Craig and everybody in baseball operations, for that matter. It's been a good first couple of years for Brez, and very confident in him and his ability to lead this baseball operation.
He added that if Alex Bregman really wanted to be here, he would be instead of in Chicago. And Tyler Reddick won yesterday's Daytona 500 in a car co-owned by Michael Jordan. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by the 99 Restaurant. Head to the Nines Thursday night to play trivia. Enjoy 6 packs of bone-in wings for a chance to win the 99 gift card and other great prizes. You gotta love the Nines. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 7:30.
Diving effort. He's got a breakaway. To the backhand. Throws it in front. Coming to the slot. The Sports Hub.
IYKYK, which obviously YD. Okay?
Toucher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports Hub.
Never cross a line if you only snort it. If you can't work it, then what's your purpose on that surface?
We are Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Kevin Durant has previously admitted to using burner accounts to defend himself. You remember years ago when he was on the Pivot podcast. Now, you might have to go through your memory bank to remember exactly what Pivot podcast it was.
Well, I've got them all downloaded here. I can pull up the description if you need me to.
Yeah, please do.
Yeah.
He was on the Pivot podcast, and he admitted that he was using burner accounts, which I have been told there are radio people in the past that have used burner accounts no one here that I know of. But I've been told that there are radio people in the past that have used many burner accounts. John, you say it like you don't know, but I'm sure you could figure out at least a couple of the people that were.
I'm shocked.
I'm sure that there's a couple people that you're aware of that had used burner accounts, and I don't think it's healthy mentally. It's a lot to keep track of, I would imagine. Now, Danny Livshatz has speculated that I had burner accounts where I was, teaming the Twitter, making comments about people. And to that I can say, I would just say it on the air. There's nothing I would say in a Twitter burner account that I wouldn't say on the air. I think that's pretty fair to say. There's no... I don't hold any political views that I feel that need to be said that would be overly that I wouldn't say on the air, and there's nothing about anyone personally that I wouldn't say on the air. So I don't. There's really no point. I can make someone feel bad enough on the air. I don't need to make them feel bad on Twitter under a alias.
Well, perhaps Kevin Durant is just a better person than you are, so he feels.
Well, there's no doubt of that. We just go into every conversation knowing the person's a better person than me.
Yes.
I mean, now you are just stating the obvious. Well done, Dahickie.
This is the more evolved, more sensitive way to go about things.
Absolutely.
What Kevin Durant is doing.
So the thing about Kevin Durant, apparently, and you guys have heard this before, is that he breathes and sleeps basketball. That he doesn't go out, that he doesn't have much of a social life, that he plays a lot of video games, that he's like a homebody. But maybe he should start going out a little bit more. That would help. He's not a young man anymore. He's in his mid-30s, and, has achieved a lot of global success. I would imagine this doesn't need to happen anymore, but he is said to have a burner account. My son's texting me or calling me like, dude, I'm on the air. So he is on this burner account, and the screenshots that have been circulating have him talking about fellow NBA players in group chats.
Yes.
He says, I can't trust Jabari to make an effing shot or get a stop. That is Jabari Smith, who he calls a low-key R word, which is something that he called him, a low-key R word, saying that Jabari Smith, he uses a very politically incorrect term there.
Yes.
He says, I'm going to turn the ball over with this SES team, IDGAF. Okay, I don't give a what.
Yes.
Your franchise player can't shoot or defend. That's a way bigger issue than my turnovers. Remember, these guys are your future. He's saying that when he is frustrated with his team. On one DM, the burner account refers to Devin Booker and former head coach Frank Vogel as two dictators, Stalin and Hitler, Mussolini and Kim Jong-un. Another states, the Suns are my team when we lose and Book's team when we win. So he's using a burner account but referring to things in the first person, which is an odd reason to have a burner account.
I was just going to say, that makes no sense to me whatsoever.
This article says...
It gets confusing. You're dealing with multiple identities here, and you slip in and
Might
out
have
of
forgotten which account he was on.
Well, and you forget which pronoun you should be using.
Yeah.
Says in the midst of this article says in the midst of his rage, Durant actually showed Ben Simmons some love. Says, I swear I miss Ben Simmons. At least that N-word would give me the ball. He says there. And beyond the basketball, another screenshot that gained traction shows the burner responding to a post claiming Kevin Durant was making money off Israeli drone investments during the Gaza conflict. After someone tweeted, Kevin Durant is making money off genocide in Gaza, the burner allegedly replied, if they need drones, we got you. So he is out there making these comments and defending himself on Twitter.
There's this whole and obviously some very, very unhappy people who are just spending a lot of time going after people online, and one of them is, I guess one of the activities for these people with regard to Kevin Durant is to goof on him for his investment in some drone company.
Yeah.
And I don't know what the backstory on it is or anything else, but people have made it, like if not their life's work, at least the work of a week or a month or a year to try and get him to somehow come clean on something. Like, what? This is your cause? To get Kevin Durant to admit to doing something wrong with his investment in a drone company? But that's what finally sent him over the edge and got him to engage and go back and forth with one of these people.
Yeah, he is spending a lot of time on there looking to defend himself. And if he was going to defend himself, he should just defend himself under his own name. I don't. And once you've been caught and you're talking about yourself in the first person, that does show a lack of intelligence. It shows a bit of a lack of intelligence that you keep doing this.
You would think he would be confident in at least one part of his life. After all, he gets criticized for basketball. He defends himself online. The other stuff I don't know about. But this guy is going to be one of the top 5 scorers in the history of the game. You would think he would have some kind of confidence in at least that part of his life. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He wouldn't have to answer to anyone, look, drone thing, whatever. But basketball-wise, I mean, the guy's pretty much beyond any criticism at this point.
And you
in
would
his
figure,
life.
yeah, and you would figure that if you're on a team, why don't you just say it to the team? You're in a position where you can do whatever you want. The star NBA players run the NBA. That goes without saying. Just say it to your teammates. Why does it have to be expressed on the internet? Just say it. Tell the coach, tell the players you don't like them.
This guy's going to pass Michael Jordan on the all-time scoring list before the end of this season. Shouldn't you be able to kind of put that in your pocket and not worry about it?
But in his defense, Fred, how do you, if you're Kevin Durant, go to Steve Kerr and tell him to his face that he hates black people ever since Michael Jordan punched you in the mouth? Because that would even set the name. Steve Kerr has hated black people ever since Michael Jordan punched him in the mouth. You wouldn't expect Kevin to go up to Steve and say that.
What would be his problem with Steve Kerr?
I don't. He's got a problem with so many people.
But like Steve Kerr, he goes on that team. They win a couple championships.
Yeah. He was the MVP of the effing NBA Finals. What's the problem?
Yeah, he leaves at his own accord.
God.
Right. Gets beaten Game 7 by the Warriors when he's there, and then decides, okay, I'll
go over there. Yeah,
I'll play with you guys.
Yeah, and then he just runs. That's the only place he's won anything, and then he just runs around, playing basketball other places. He can play wherever he wants.
You got paid, so no one withheld money from you. What's the problem?
Well, it's also like I don't recall, John. You would know better than me, but I don't. Was there something going on in Golden State where he was not being given the ball enough or something of that nature?
No, there wasn't. There was nothing like that. As a matter of fact, they went out of their way to defer to him at that point.
Because if you don't screen and pass up shots for Steph, you getting waived.
Was Kevin Durant waived? Was he waived? Did they let him go?
Memory, no.
Did they waived him? His contract was still good, and they just waived him and ate the money.
No,
they ate the $700 million they probably were paying him. He's got a mental problem. Like he needs like a lot of help.
Seriously, if this part of his life isn't enough to fulfill him, and he's still complaining about it, I mean, he's had a career almost no one has ever had.
Right, because that's the thing is that obviously just having money, you look at history, just having money doesn't make you satisfied or necessarily make you happy.
But he's had money and success.
But even that doesn't necessarily make you happy.
Yeah.
But, I mean, life is difficult. I mean, you live in your own head. But you would think that someone around him would go, all right, look. You have the ability, you have the time, nothing but time. NBA players have nothing but time. You have all the time in the world. You have all the money in the world and all the resources in the world. Let's try to nip this in the bud a little bit. Let's see why you're so unhappy. Let's go and figure this out. Because he's obviously unhappy. The reason I say unhappy is that it's not like he's being screwed and he's got like a bone to pick and he's holding these resentments for like any kind of real reason. He's obviously got a mental problem. So someone in his camp has got to go, Kevin, let's work through this. Let's figure out why you're doing this.
And it's probably too simplistic an approach, but and I agree with you. This is the work and these are the actions of a very unhappy person.
Yes.
How about start with deleting all social media?
But that's hard to do. Like there's something, because by the way, like putting this stuff up on the internet, and these are DMs and stuff, this serves no purpose. Like there's nothing, like he's not wagging the dog or something. You know what I'm saying? He's not, in a clandestine way starting a narrative that benefits him. There's nothing that can come from this but bad. There's no good that comes from it, in that it's not like you can get on Twitter under a pseudonym or a burner account and then create like a dialogue between people. I can understand the impulse if people are saying things about you that aren't true, because it happened to me when people are saying things about you that are just patently false. What happens with that is that a false narrative will be said, and then people will go, well, if that happened, then this must have happened, and if this must have happened, then this must have happened. And when you're sitting there seeing this go on, it's like very frustrating. And I have myself, at one point, as myself, stepped into a conversation because I couldn't take it anymore. Now, I would like to think I wouldn't do this again, but I stepped into conversations because I couldn't take it anymore.
Right.
Like it was getting so out of hand, and this fan fiction had gotten so out of control, and it was none of it was legitimately true. All of it was false, and it just kept getting weirder and weirder and weirder. That I can understand, the impulse to do that. But you got to, at a certain point, go, and he had that point. He got caught and admitted it. At that point, you got to deal with it and say, okay, but it doesn't even seem he was like reacting to something like that. He was just bitching about about basketball and his life.
And that's the difference. That's a big difference.
Like, so the drone thing, right? Like, you're responsible for like all these problems in Gaza. Like, I could see that you'd be like, what the hell? Like, now you're putting my name on this stuff that's going on. And if that became like a narrative on the internet, I could see that bothering you. But obviously you don't want to be like held culpable for like, the actions of like others in some like divisive issue that you really don't have any part of. So I could see at that point, like, going on as Kevin Durant. I mean, you still shouldn't do this mentally, but the desire to want to go like, hey, knock it off. I got a million investments. I don't know what you're talking about. I'm not like funding some government. Like I'm a partial investor in some company that happens to make drones or something like that. But the impulse to just go around and bitch about your team is just bitch to them. Bitch to the media about them. How many like sources that don't identify themselves call Shams Charania and text him. Text whoever the beat writer for the Rockets is and bitch to him. Text the beat writer for the Golden State Warriors and bitch to him.
But I stand by this, Fred. Like, and I agree. For somebody who spends that much time like on his phone and engaging with people, and this seems to be his primary outlet to get this stuff out of there, to just take it all away would be like a shock to his system. But if you want to fix the problem, all the things like you say, like that gets said about you and you want to go on there to correct the record, if you're not on social media, you don't even know it's being said.
Well, that's why I'm off Twitter.
Yeah. So it becomes completely inconsequential. Once you stop engaging, once you stop looking, and that whole world that's going on, that's only there. That's not real.
It is amazing, and it took me a long time because it's hard to like know people are talking about you and not be curious about what they're saying. And it took me a long time, but I will tell you this. And I'm sure most of the audience isn't even on Twitter. I don't know anyone on Twitter, but that's not in media. But the thing is that it is true. Once you are off Twitter, these things that seemed, or these people like public figures that seemed important, or like that people cared about what they said, completely go away because they're not talked about outside of Twitter. Like the existence is nowhere else. It's not in mainstream media. They're not talked about on the radio or on podcasts or anything that you would hear. It's not on Instagram, which I'm on. It just exists entirely on Twitter. So you can, and I know Nick gets himself all riled up by some of this stuff. You get on Twitter and you think, I mean, it happens here. I mean, I've had bosses say, did you see this on Twitter? And it's like, it becomes even to them like this thing that like, oh, there's this so-and-so said this. And you're like, okay, but now that I'm not on Twitter, I have no idea what so-and-so is saying.
Right. And if it's something like negative or something that, is going to be like in any way like hurtful or detrimental to you, it's like, no, I didn't see it for a reason. I kind of, I avoid it. So now, but thank you for bringing it to my attention. I've never understood that. Oh my God, you see what somebody said?
Right.
No, I did not. And I'm completely happy now.
Because if it's going to affect your life and it's going to become a real issue, you're going to find out about it without Twitter. Believe me, you're going to find out about it without Twitter.
Yeah. If it's real.
If it's real, like if you're like in real trouble or you're getting like killed about something, like Felger's not on Twitter, and if Felger gets in trouble, I assure you he knows he's in trouble, right? Like it becomes a story. It becomes like a real thing. So it is interesting. I just don't know why no one from his camp has said we got to sit down and talk about this. Like, we got to figure out why you're so unhappy and why you feel like you need to do this. Because even if it was just him on Twitter, then he's just like kind of a brazen body guy, like talking us on Twitter. And that would even be a little weird, but you're like, okay, you know, at least he's putting his name on it. This is very bizarre, considering he's saying it's him. Now watch, it's not even him, but I have a feeling it is.
Oh, it's him.
Yeah, I have a good feeling.
Based on the track record, that's definitely him.
All right. We will be back in just a moment. Tim Healy to talk a little Red Sox. How about that in just a moment?
More Toucher and Hardy.
the Red Sox beat writer for the Boston Globe. Hello, Tim.
Hello.
How are you? Are you in Fort Myers right now, or what are you?
I am in Fort Myers, and the sun just came up, so that's a big win.
All right, there you go. Well, listen. Sam Kennedy talked to the media yesterday, and here is a quote about Rafael Devers. He said, "Would we have done things differently leading into it? Absolutely. You question yourself, when did we make mistakes? What could we have done better? But at the end of the day, we were faced with a decision that was a hard one, and we made it and are really proud of everyone. Everybody who worked together on that. Time will tell. We'll see how the results are." What is he referring to when he says, what would they have done differently? They, remember, they asked him to be DH. He didn't want to do it, then he did it. Then they asked him to learn first base.
After saying you can put your glove away.
Yes. Then they asked him to learn first base, and he balked at that, and then they ended up trading him for nothing.
There was the whole Bregman thing, too. They didn't tell him they were going after
That's
Bregman.
Right. Yeah. That's right. They signed Bregman in free agency to take his position.
Right.
So what do you think they mean by what would they have done differently?
So I asked Sam Kennedy right after he said that, what are you referring to? What are those answers about what you would have done differently? And the one example he offered was the communication leading into it, which, of course, was last offseason when they were pursuing Bregman, and apparently did not make clear to Rafael Devers that they were trying to bring in somebody who would take his position. And Sam Kennedy pointedly noted that communication was a two-way street, which, of course, puts some of the onus on Rafael Devers from his perspective. But that gets back at the original sin of this whole saga. If you make it clear to Devers, your third baseman, that you want to bring in a new, better defensive third baseman to help the lineup, help the team, try to win the World Series, blah, 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 then he can be mad about it in December. And then maybe by the time he shows up in February, he can think about first base or think about DH or whatever the circumstances called for. So everything that has happened since then all goes back to flubbing the communication with Devers last offseason. And apparently he is hard to communicate with, right? He's a little bit of a recluse in the offseason. But to me, that's not an excuse. You can show up at his door if you need to.
Yeah, and now Bregman's gone, so the Devers trade.
It's remarkable.
Not only did they lose Devers' bat, they got actively worse with the players they brought back. In that, the players that they brought back, they would have been better with any average major leaguer. Like Hicks is worse than an average major league reliever.
You had to attach players just to get rid of Hicks off the roster at this point.
And then they turned, it was Dusty May or
Dustin May, yes.
That now
they
a
flipped
Cardinals
Tibbs
star.
at the absolute last minute of the trade deadline, having failed everywhere else. They went and got Dustin May in a panic.
Yeah, and now he's with the Cardinals. Saying thank God. And so that they turned, that was a whole debacle. Now, moving on to Alex Bregman, as we talked to Tim Healy from the Globe, and we are locked and loaded because he talked to Sam Kennedy yesterday. He said if Alex Bregman wanted to be here, ultimately he'd be here. Okay. What does that mean?
To be honest, who's to say what any of that means? Bregman had an offer from the Cubs and an offer from the Red Sox, and in at least two ways, as far as we know, the offer from the Cubs was better. It was a bit more money, and it had the full no-trade clause, which he says was important to him. The Red Sox offered a little bit less money and no-trade clause. And, if you take Tom Werner at his word, then the Red Sox don't have an organizational blanket policy against no trades. Sam Kennedy was asked, did Bregman ask for a no-trade clause? And Sam Kennedy declined to say. So it's hopefully the last word, or maybe at least the last word until Bregman shows up with the Cubs for the very last series of the season in September. But it's just, it seemed like the Red Sox trying to save face a little bit, like, oh, this guy never really wanted to be here.
Okay, because I can't find it, but I did read that someone with the Red Sox said, well, look, the Cubs have spring training in Arizona, and he's got a place in Arizona, which seems not like nonsense.
Kennedy and Warner said that yesterday, in separate interviews.
So the idea, if you're not aware, is that apparently
that explains it.
Of course. Yeah, so if you're not aware of what we're talking about, Alex Bregman apparently spends his off seasons in Arizona. And obviously the Cubs have their spring training in Arizona versus Florida. Therefore, the ability to spend spring training and stay in his own house was of great value to him.
All that money on flights really would have set him back flying to Florida from
or how about leaving Arizona and just moving to Florida?
I
mean, it's not. I mean, my God. So they're kind of scrambling, or are they? They seem to be having trouble justifying, especially the Devers thing. Like it seems like they. Now, look, they're talking, but it does seem they're having trouble justifying these things.
That seems correct because it's hard to justify. I mean, it's an unfortunate series of events, and you could critique them at various points along the way, going back to that communication last offseason, as we talked about. The trade return for Devers. The players were unremarkable or worse, as you noted. But it was really about getting the money off the books. They realized they got married to the wrong guy, and they called it before it was too late. That was what they were going for.
Ultimately, taking all of this into consideration, you've been on the beat a couple of years. What is your observation about the way they do business? Is it they do business in a certain way and winning is secondary? If they win, great, or are they trying to win as an organization?
That's a great question. During the Chaim Bloom era, let's say, winning in the majors was not the priority. They were in the, call it a rebuild or trying to develop the farm system, whatever you want. And then Chaim Bloom era was over. Craig Breslow came in, and all of a sudden, all those prospects they wanted were pretty much ready. And they were at a different point in their competitive cycle. And you saw it last offseason when they traded for Crochet, dealt some prospects, added a bunch of free agents, including Bregman, and it turned into a pretty solid step forward, right? The postseason appearance was a brief dud, but that was a major improvement over 2024. Now, the pressure's on. They need to take another step forward because sneaking in as one of those extra wild card teams is not going to register as much of a success. They need to, win the division first off, but then make an actual deep October run, which is not easy to do, period, and especially not easy when you don't seem to have many home run hitters on the team, which is super important in October, of course. So are they focused on winning? I think they are. I think they are. They've made improvements, not sexy ones, but pitching and defense ones. The payroll thing is interesting. I sort of get caught in between on it. I'm not sure how I feel because on one hand, they have the highest payroll in franchise history coming into this year. And on the other hand, they have the third highest payroll in the division and something like seventh in the majors. So they aren't in that top 3, top 5 category like they were not too long ago. So the payroll's high, but relatively speaking, not as high as it used to be. So, there's room for criticism there. But the money's being spent.
Well, and also, as Sam Kennedy said, it's not necessarily not having the home run hitters there. He said it's an opportunity for these guys to step up and generate the offense.
In other words, we didn't get any help. One of you guys has to figure it out.
Tim, you and John, you guys look at this and you see nothing but, obstacles. Sam and I see opportunity. Yeah. And maybe that's just how we're different.
Yeah.
I mean, he's not wrong to say that there is opportunity. I suppose that in a very simple, factually speaking way, that is true. But the Red Sox are relying a lot on internal improvement offensively,
right? Because
Bregman for Wilson Contreras is pretty close to a 1-for-1 swap in the lineup. So what they need is Roman Anthony to become a monster at the plate in his first full Major League season, which is possible, but a big ask. They need Wilyer Abreu to stay healthy and hit more home runs. Ceddanne Rafaela to have maybe a less streaky plate performance. Carlos Narvaez, maybe he stays healthy and hits more. Trevor Story had a great year last year, all things considered, which is incredible considering how it started. I don't know if you're going to get another 25 home runs and 90-something RBIs from Trevor Story. You might, but it's hard to bank on that. Caleb Durbin is a league average offensive player. Marcelo Meyer, you're not really sure what you're going to get there. So there are spots where they could get more home runs, more slugging, but there are no guarantees.
Yeah, be careful with Contreras in what you expect out of him. I'm not overly passionate about his abilities, but he's fine. But but they did they have quite a starting rotation here.
True.
So in modern baseball, how important is that? And these are the guys in Crochet. I know he had a record of like faltering through the end, but he's a big kid. And then they got two guys that should be durable behind him. How important is that going to be as the season goes on to have those steady starters that should be able to eat innings?
I would go as far as to say the season hinges on this, on paper, quite good rotation being an in reality quite good rotation. If Ranger Suarez stinks, or if Sonny Gray gets hurt, or if Garrett Crochet for sure, if he doesn't pitch well or isn't on the field, then the Red Sox are in a really bad spot, of course. If the rotation falls apart, then the whole thing falls apart. So it's very important. They did a good job building the rotation. It looks a lot better than it did at the end of last season, never mind at the beginning of last season when it was sort of a mess. Think about Brian Bayo. He started the second game of the playoff series against the Yankees, and now he is their fourth or fifth starter. So it's definitely better. It's definitely deeper. And is pitching and defense the way to win the World Series? It's possible. It seems to be a sort of a moving target, right? Last year, the Dodgers won with a super rotation that they spent so much money on. And it was, wow, how can anybody beat the Dodgers with that rotation? And the year before that, the Dodgers won by beating everybody into the ground with their bats, and they had virtually no rotation. So there's more than one way to win, and the Red Sox are taking their plan B way to win, which is pitching and defense. Certainly not what Craig Breslow anticipated in November or December.
Yeah, and in the future we can get into what the Dodgers, what they've done is going to mean for the future of baseball, as it looks like
the countdown is on to the lockout.
Yes, in the ways outside of a salary cap that I've read are A, exceptionally confusing, and B, I don't think the owners are going to go for it. But that is for another day. Tim Healy, Fort Myers, Florida, my friend. Enjoy.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Go to Steak and Ale.
Yeah.
Delicious.
There you go.
Prime rib.
They used to have one in Farmington Hills. Tim Healy from the Boston Globe. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right. We appreciate it. There you go. We appreciate it. This season, I just keep thinking the Dodgers, by them going out and signing that kid from the Cubs, oh boy, Kyle Tucker. Now we're in it. Now there's a problem.
And listen, he's absolutely right about it, and everybody is about the rotation now. It's so much better. But I do take with a grain of salt. Like, Bayo, he was, starting game 2 against the Yankees. Now he's 4th. That's where he should have been. Nobody wanted him out there pitching.
Well, that's
the second
point.
game.
Yeah, but that's the point, is
Yes.
that they've gotten now 2 capable guys. I mean, I've certainly Sonny Gray was an opening day starter, and now he's 3rd in your rotation.
Yeah.
So interesting. A big upgrades there. There's no doubt about it. And those guys should be on paper durable, and they should be able to eat innings. So you would hope for that. We'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines. Present.
We are Toucher and Hardy. The Winter Olympics is going on. Oh, Nicholas. The Winter Olympics is on. Nicholas, come in here. Nicholas. Nicholas! Nicholas! Oh, now he's moving. He's cruising. He's running.
Oh,
he saw his medical records.
Got a little giddy up in his step.
Yeah, there you go. I like that movement. Nick got in here lickety split. I like that. No need to, not even a chance to get the trombone. Nick's on fire today. I've missed all the hockey. Now, I understand the United States is going to have to play Sweden.
Looks that way, yes.
In a must-win game because Sweden, that whole division's all messed up because they're all losing to each other.
Right.
Finland and Sweden, and is it Latvia, the other country that's like kind of been playing well?
Sweden has to play Latvia in the 7-10 matchup of the knockout round.
Ooh. So the knockout round is what's coming up.
Yes. And
okay.
The U.S., after sweeping their 3 games, is the 2 seed. They get a bye into the quarterfinals.
So, to my understanding, they would have had to score 10 goals in their last game. By the way, Jeremy Swayman played the other day, and not good.
No.
Bad.
No, not
Bad.
good at all.
Maybe
no.
part of the reason they're a 2 seed, but they would have had to score 10 goals. So Latvia was playing, and they were down in a game to Sweden or Finland. It doesn't really matter. But anyway, they pulled their goalie down, or they were up. They were up in a game. Sweden was up in a game and pulled their goalie because Sweden had to score like another goal to somehow win a tiebreaker.
Goal differential is the tiebreaker.
Right.
Yes.
And I'm sorry, Latvia scored a goal to like get a game within 2 goals, like a last second goal to make a game like 4-2, and they stormed the ice and like celebrated with the guy that scored the goal. So it's very odd. Like, so you have teams that are ahead in games at the end of the game pulling their goalie to try to thank you, to try to force these tiebreakers, and you have teams celebrating, scoring seemingly meaningless goals at the end of losses. That's the way I should have put it. Tom Wilson did fight. He, a guy in France, they felt made a dirty hit to McKinnon's head. Tom Wilson fought him. These are another thing I have not seen any video of. It's just still pictures. I guess NBC has a full lock on the video for that. Don't send it to me. I don't particularly care. But Tom Wilson did fight. And then you get kicked out of the game, but there was only 7 minutes in the game, and it was bad. But I had not been watching the Olympics, so over the weekend, I did have time. My daughter and my ex-wife are in Puerto Rico. I have my son, and my son has a car, so he's never around. So I had time to watch or put the Winter Olympics on. There's nothing. None of it is interesting. And it's not being cynical. It's that short speed skating was on. That's unwatchable.
Yeah, you root for crashes. The short track.
Yes. They had what seemingly would have been interesting. The skiing off the ramp and flipping and doodling and daddling around, whatever that's called. And that was terrible. What they're doing is quite amazing. They're going down the hill backwards and then flipping and flying off of it. Mm-hmm. One guy crashed and they had to take him off on a stretcher, but they cut away from it. Like the guy smashed and then was just laying there, and then you see them come out with a stretcher and they look away. The camera goes away.
Yeah, you can't be showing that.
Except for in every U.S. sport where they will show it in great detail. I saw Theismann's leg break about 5 million times. I don't believe the man died, or I would have heard about it. But he was not even you didn't even get to see if he gave a thumbs up or something. Like they took him off. And then they were talking about maybe he could ski again. So who the hell knows even what happened? Guy falls, lays on the ice because it's ice. It's not really snow. Mm-hmm. It's ice. Lays on that ice, and they pan away from it. What else did I see? The cross country is on, and
I know,
and you know
that's great,
and obviously that's not a spectator.
Did you see the
sport.
Biathlon? You get a chance to see the Biathlon?
No, but I saw
cross country skiing and shooting.
I saw when they have to take there's something where they have to the climbing one where they have to take their skis off because
that's a new invented thing.
Yeah, because I saw a footage of someone having to get their skis back on.
Right.
But I now, do you guys ski?
No, I do not.
Snowboard.
Thank you, Adam. But do you ski?
I've skied.
I have before, but
I know you're proud of your snowboarding prowess. Is the skiing
very
interesting?
Proud of your summer stock.
Is the skiing interesting to you guys because you skied?
No, it's what they're doing. What they're doing has nothing to do with what I've ever done on skis.
No, but I'm just trying to see if I had any point of reference other than the time that I broke the guy's leg. If they had breaking the guy's leg because you don't know how to stop skiing, that I would be able to relate to a great deal. Because I'm wondering, because I don't ice skate. Like if you got me out on ice skates right now, there's no way. Like at my age, I'm too afraid to fall.
Well,
but there was a time I could, kind of. I never played hockey or anything. I've been very open about that.
In terms of the things that you can relate to, though, you can relate to the French skier who slammed his nuts up against one of the slalom poles.
I saw that.
Have you
mic'd up.
Yeah, I have. And he behaved like a real wuss.
Now it's the Frenchman, Yannick Bertrand, through the S-turn. Yannick Bertrand. The gate to the groin for Yannick Bertrand, and you could hear it. And if you're a man, you could feel it. Wow, watch this again. Oh, the Frenchman. Oh,
that they showed 10 times.
That was great.
He stopped, by the way. He stopped.
I know. He had to pull over.
He stopped.
That's what it was. He pulled over to the right.
If you're in the Olympics and you hit a gate with your nuts, that's what he says. I think the announcer says that.
Bertrand.
But I don't care how bad it hurts your nuts. Go down the mountain.
Seriously, momentum's going to take you.
Yeah, exactly.
Finish.
Like you've trained all your life for this dumb event. Like you got hit in the nuts by the thing. I'm sure it hurts. But I mean, what hurts worse? That or getting kicked in the balls? Like how much longer is the race?
Yannick Bertrand.
He pulls over and stops. Now, I'm not doubting it's incredible pain, but the adrenaline, when you have that, adrenaline, you're doing something that I would imagine requires a great deal of concentration. You're going very fast down a mountain. Second of all, It's the biggest race of your life. So now you have that adrenaline going for you. I understand it hurts to get hit in the balls, but you didn't break your leg. Like, get down the mountain. Did you guys think that too?
Yes.
Like,
I know I did. Look, at most the run is another 45 seconds.
Exactly. And
yes.
Like that pain's going to hit and it's going to hurt really bad.
But also the thing is like the immediacy of it, because we all know after getting hit in the nuts, it doesn't happen like in an instant.
Right. Because what I imagine, it was like more like a pinch to like the head of it, like more than the balls.
Right.
Like kind of like pinched his penis.
Well, it also depends, and just very quickly here, what he's really there to do, because they have run out of condoms at the Olympic Games.
They say that every year.
10,000 condoms have been distributed, and they're all out.
They say that every year.
You don't believe it?
No, I don't believe it at all. I don't know. What, no woman has birth control? I don't believe it at all.
It's about safe sex, Fred. It's not about just the baby.
Well, safe sex is birth control. That would be safe sex by definition. I mean, they're taking a precaution.
Well, they're talking about a sexually transmitted disease.
What are you going to catch now?
The clap.
Hey, eat some moldy bread and some tree bark. You're all right. All right, we'll be back in just a moment.
You're listening to Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
in Los Angeles. In all, there were 4 12-minute mini games, and at the end, the U.S. Stars team beat Jaylen Brown's U.S. Stripes team in the final 47-21. Anthony Edwards voted the MVP of the evening while playing for the winning team. Celtics will get back to work on Thursday night on the road against Golden State. The U.S. men's hockey team beat Germany yesterday 5-1 to run the table in their 3-game preliminary round schedule. They get a bye into the quarterfinals of the knockout round as the 2 seed. They'll play the winner of tomorrow's Sweden-Latvia game on Wednesday. The U.S. women's hockey team will play Sweden in the semifinals later on this morning. Red Sox held their first full squad workout of the year yesterday in Fort Myers, Florida. Sox CEO Sam Kennedy told the media yesterday that after the winter his team had, there's a lot to look forward to.
It was a successful offseason. It was long, arduous, lots of scenario planning, but excited that we improved the club in many ways. So good to have it over with. I told the guys this morning I hate the off season because there's no baseball and it's dark and cold and long.
He added that if Alex Bregman really wanted to be in Boston, he would be. Colin Morikawa closed with a 567. He won the Pebble Beach Pro-Am by 1 shot. And Tyler Reddick won yesterday's Daytona 500 in a car co-owned by Michael Jordan. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Best Ford in Nashua. Looking for great deals on a new Ford? Go to the Best first. Best Ford in Nashua. Head to bestford.com. I'm John Wallach on Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 8:30.
Deep 3, violent 2-hand slam. Wow.
98.5 The Sports Hub.
Oh boy, I guess it's time for more Toucher and Hardy on 98.5 The Sports Hub.
We interrupt this program for breaking news.
I can't use it.
Newsflash.
Hey, we're Toucher and Hardy. You can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. Download the podcast, which I'm sure a lot of you are listening on podcasts right now because none of you are awake, as it is a holiday. But don't think we're doing this out of sacrifice and love of the game. This gives us an extra floating vacation day to use at our leisure.
Yeah.
So when I'm in Hoover, Alabama this July, I'll be like, ha-ha, ha-ha, I worked on President's Day. Now I'm here in Hoover, Alabama, watching a game where my son's not pitching.
I may be here for a week, but I'm only burning 4 days of it.
Hot dog. Hot dog. All right. By the way, I saw the John Tesh you talked about earlier, the John Tesh performance of Round Ball Rock that he did at the All-Star game. And the caption read on Instagram, "Inject this into my veins," which
should have been on that board that we were doing earlier this
then
year.
Makes me want to makes me want to just leave the earth. I just why just, hey, this is John Tesh playing Round Ball Rock, or say nothing, but you got to say inject this into my veins.
Well, I didn't have that making you so upset on my bingo card for today, but
just saying.
I did. Just saying.
Just saying.
I'm just going to leave this here.
Nothing.
I'll just leave this here. Even if you, before you write that, I'm just going to leave this here. Picture yourself saying it and how incredibly douchey you would look saying that. I'm just going to leave this here. Oh, are you? Super.
It's better than the all in capital letters, this period, and then the thing behind it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And then one person did it once.
Yeah.
And then I'll just leave this here. And then maybe the first time you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Well, what did it?
And then everyone goes, I'm going to do it too.
But what it also is, it's just lazy. Instead of finding something that you think is worthy of a comment, instead of coming up with a funny comment to go with it, you say, I'm just going to leave this here. You insert your own punchline.
Well, it's almost insinuating I've just dropped a bomb on you. This is a guy smelling his own farts. I'll just leave this here and let the world deal with it.
Yeah.
This is AI video of.
Thank me or curse me, but recognize that I've broken the internet with this one.
Yeah, I've really changed the game with this. All right, so we are doing the news. It's been a long time since we've done the news. And Hardy, what is the first story?
Thank you so much to WPLG Fort Lauderdale, providing us with so much content this morning, including this, which is going to come as a shock to the system of many people who are enjoying the new national pastime.
Across Florida, a couple taken into custody after allegedly getting into a fight during a recent country club pickleball match in Port Orange. Deputies say the couple attacked the players on the team they were playing against.
All right. Now, was this a mixed doubles match? Have you seen what's more volatile? Same-sex groupings or mixed doubles?
Well, generally, the code of conduct would dictate that there is no problem either way. But it seems to be that the mixed doubles events do cause
this whole protecting your lady nonsense. Yes,
I think some of that comes into play. I think some of the calls end up being scrutinized a little bit more in the mixed doubles events. I mean, just from what I've seen.
Which gender do you lay the blame on that? On the scrutinizing of calls?
Just the women. You always blame the women.
No, because I honestly would say men would be much more likely to care enough to be douchebags.
Every bad call I see online, and I am in the algorithm. I get fed a lot of pickleball stuff.
Sure, I mean, not only in the algorithm. I mean, I'm sure that you investigate.
It's always a guy making the bad call.
Yeah, because
always,
guys are the
100%
ones.
of the time.
Guys are the ones that care too much.
That care.
Again, it's the same thing with any youth sport, like young youth sport especially. Like there are people that are like super into it, and it's just bad, like making kids cry, like this and that, and you're just like, you care, and it's always a guy. Like you just care so much about this. Something's missing in your life, and you are so into something that is so poorly played, and just so. The outcome of this is of no concern to anyone here.
No consequence.
Except for you.
Yeah. But I do want credit from you for something, Fred. Because you know that I like to keep score and that I like to have little competitions and things like that. But I do recognize, and I recognized this many, many years ago, there is great value in not caring. Especially when it comes to activities like this. Like the less concerned you are with the outcome and winning, I have found the more likely it is that you will perform well.
So you're now competing against yourself, not to care.
You got to loosen up. You got to let go. You just got to let things happen.
Yes.
I know, and
I perfected that.
I know you have.
Yes.
And it's very difficult for me to not care about the outcome of things like just pick up, open play pickleball. But I know that when I do, the results are almost always better.
You have to at least show it outward indifference. Even if inside it's killing you, it is required to have an outward indifference, or you are.
And that, by the way, I have mastered. Yeah. I am the clown. I'm the one who will laugh at myself. I can't believe it. And on the golf course, I'm an absolute master of it.
Yeah.
And then I go and cry by myself in the parking lot.
Yeah.
And just sit there for long minutes.
Because I thought you were genuinely having a good time when we were playing that one time.
Oh, God, no.
No?
No.
Wait, you two played pickleball?
No, golf.
Oh.
He was talking about on the golf course as well.
No, I was like, if you two played pickleball, this went on behind the scenes. I don't like it. I don't like when you two do something. I'm not at least aware it's going on.
I can't wait to get you out there. We're going to have a good time.
My club has pickleball. I've yet to see the racket facility. It's only been around for 3 years, but I will at some point. I should do it. My kids are getting older. I need to find
what you should do is a
healthy activity,
a video tour of your pickleball facilities, and send it to your dad and say, "Now this, I understand why it took so long to build. This is a real project."
They managed to get that up in about a month. Now, what's interesting is
the Teleco Village one took years.
Well, it's not done. What Hardy's referring to is that there's 3 golf courses where my parents live. They're nice golf courses. They're not like, whatever, Pebble Beach, but they're nice golf courses. One of the clubhouses burned down. It had a restaurant I liked in it. And it's right across the street essentially from my parents. The easiest one to get to. I enjoyed the restaurant. I used to drink at the bar there, this and that. I enjoyed it. Now, the thing is that it burned down years ago. And it's still not, they say it burned down 3 years ago. It's still in the very beginnings of construction. And when I ask my father about it, he becomes enraged about my lack of knowledge of the construction process for properties. And I would say, well, things get built in Boston very quickly, and it gets cold here. It doesn't get so cold.
Yeah.
You got probably, 350 days a year you could be building outside of weather. Like, why is this not happening? You don't understand the HOA sitch and this and that.
Yeah,
and then, we got to get the plans approved. It's a whole thing.
Politics.
Now, if I lived there, I would be like, I'd rather have it built, even if it wasn't to my specifications. I'd rather have it just built in there than have it take 3 or 4 years to build. It's still not done. Don't worry. Tenacity? No, still not done.
Now we're hearing the calls for help.
Hello. We're at First Creek pickleball court, and there's a fight that's broken out.
This must have been quite a match because she is completely out of breath. Do you get that out of breath while playing?
Well, she is. All this has been compounded by the trauma of what she's seen unfolding before her eyes.
Yeah, but I would question trauma making you pant. The panting has to be from she's just fresh off the court, She's still slick with sweat, and she's calling, because she seems quite out of breath.
Pickleball court, and there's a fight that's broken out, and we need help.
Are you at the country club in Port Orange?
Yes, country club pickleball court. Come quick, please.
Okay. How many people are fighting?
There's about 20 people.
Oh, it's a Donnybrook.
It's a full-blown melee.
Wow. Yeah, come quick. Come quick. Whatever else is going on in Fort Lauderdale where there's no violent crime, come quick. These people they're mad.
It was like an NBA situation. You see all the trainers flooded the court too. So it's not just the players, it's all the assistant coaches.
Well, these people, these country club folk, they all have their own personal assistants and things that come out and do their dirty work. Come quick. There's 20 people fighting. Yes, I'm sure they're all really going at it. 20 people. 20 country club people all fighting.
Okay, any weapons?
Yeah, there's weapons. I just said they're playing pickleball. Their hands are lethal weapons. I told you they're playing pickleball. I mean, these guys have to register their fists because their hand-eye coordination is so elite. Scam, bam, bam, bam. Coming at you a million miles a minute.
Those hard-soled court shoes, and there's wiffle balls.
Well, I didn't even mention the equipment. I'm just saying that these people are no stranger to hand-eye. Quick reactions.
Okay, any weapons?
The break? No. I mean, somebody hit somebody with a pickleball.
It's called a paddle, lady. There's only one word. Wait, a paddle. Can't think of it? You're on the pickleball court. It's the only piece of equipment.
She's in crisis. Give her a break.
No, because how you behave in crisis is a test of character, and I will not put this aside. If this was to happen in my presence, I'd want someone more composed, quite frankly. She's not involved in the melee. Just relate the information. And by the way, the 911 operator does not seem concerned nearly enough. He seems very blasé about this Donnybrook.
Curious. That was kind of the vibe that I got. He's so curious as to what's going on.
No. I mean, somebody hit somebody with a pickleball paddle, hit somebody in the head. Please. Oh, my God.
The suspects...
Did you hear the laugh?
Yeah, they're laughing. Yeah, they're laughing. I hope these people get felony assault charges too, and they'll all get dropped. But like, just that, imagine you get taken to jail from the country club, and they book you on felony assault.
Yeah, let's take this all the way.
Like
you started this thing, so let's go.
So you know about the.
Oh my God.
So the kid that was, do you know about the Penn State player that's supposed to go number 1 in the draft?
Yes.
So apparently he was at a bar. It was like family night, and someone called his mom a whore. So he clocked the kid and like broke his jaw. His original charge was felony assault. Now they've dropped it to not that. So but I mean, that was a ridiculous charge. I mean, the guy's kind of asking to get hit, and it's not the guy's fault that he's strong and broke the guy's jaw. I think, in fact, the guy pressing charges whose jaw is broken is a bit of a dick. You kind of got to realize you were a drunken idiot and kind of deserved it. But nonetheless, imagine that these people at the country club getting hauled off in cuffs and then getting booked on felony assault charges and having to just sit there and get bailed out. That is funny to me. I mean, their lawyers will all plead it down, and then it will become not really that much of an issue. But they might even get suspended from the club, which would be my major concern.
Well, you mentioned the calling someone's wife a whore. Apparently, and we'll finish the story, and I'll tell you what started all this.
Please. Oh my God.
The suspects identified as Anthony and Julia Sapienza. Anthony is facing charges of aggravated battery causing bodily harm and 2 counts on battery of a person 65 or older. Julia also has been charged with battery. That couple is now out on bond.
Yeah, they had to get bonded out.
Bit of a May-December romance between Anthony, who is 63, and Julianne, who is 51. But according to the New York Times, who also wrote about this incident, at one point during the match, Mr. Sapienza used a misogynistic vulgarity to describe his opponent's wife, which her husband took exception to.
Oh, now you put him under the gun. Because you're out there with your 51-year-old trophy wife. I thought you were going to say like 28, like he was like 64 with a 28-year-old, and I'm like, nice life you married yourself into, honey. You got to go play pickleball with this guy, mixed doubles pickleball at 28 years old. That's like Jordan at 24 and Bill at 73. It's like, what are you doing for activities? Well, we're gonna take a walk. We're gonna put on our walking shoes
before dinner or after dinner. Oh, after. We'll go at about 4:45.
Yeah. Well, the sun's still out, of course.
Well, so
I can't digest without a nice walk.
There was the misogynistic vulgarity, and then Mr. Sapienza accused an opponent of stepping into the kitchen area.
Oh yeah,
at a time when you can't.
Oh, that's a mistake. You're doing that.
He then approached him and punched him on the left side of his face, hit him with the pickleball paddle, and Mr. Sapienza continued punching the other man after both fell to the ground. The man was taken to the hospital, and he's been charged with an assault of someone over 65 years old. Apparently, the man that Mr. Sapienza assaulted was 70 years old.
Well, that's ageism. I don't know why that's a worse charge, or they have to put that disclaimer on it.
Good news is the general manager of the Spruce Creek Country Club said these people aren't members. They were here for an interclub match, and they've been banned from the community for life.
Yeah, that's the problem. I mean, club versus club. I mean, we've seen it with Crips and Bloods. I mean, it's the same thing. I mean, Brayburn comes to Woodland. I mean,
you throw all the records out when that happens.
No, you take your dentures out because you don't need them. You're going tooth fighting. Hold these, honey. Hold my Fixodent.
Brayburn coming over. Oh, let me take off my ascot before we start tussling around.
These kids, these jokers don't even take their hats off in the dining room. I mean, they're it's like spitting on our turf, throwing up our gang signs. All right, we will be back in just a moment. The great Connor Ryan will talk to us.
Toucher and Hardy, those scamps. They'll be right back on the.
We are Toucher and Hardy. Connor Ryan covers the Boston Bruins and more for Boston.com. He's kind enough to join us. Hello, Connor.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
What's up? So I'm going to guess Jeremy Swayman's not going to be in goal for the U.S. again.
It's probably an accurate assessment. Yeah, not great. I mean, it's unfortunate for him, right? Because I think you looked at the goaltending situation, and yeah, Connor Hellebuck was going to be the goalie entering the tournament for Team USA. When he's on, he's one of the best goalies in the world. Has a couple of Vezinas. The one knock against him over the years has been doesn't really show up in the playoffs. Didn't really have his best in the Four Nations tournament. So I think this was a great opportunity for Jeremy Swayman to get an opportunity there and see what he could do. You get his chance against Denmark. You're not going to get another opportunity if you give up a goal from the red line. And it's unfortunate, but I think you see how Hellebuck bounced back against Germany. It's probably going to be his net for the rest of the way. And even if he falters in one of these games, they have to turn to someone else. I'm going to assume Mike Sullivan goes with Jake Ottinger over Swayman. So he had his chance, but you can't give up a goal like that, especially when you got tougher competition moving forward in the tournament.
Connor, when did you move to Boston? It must have been very recently. I can't hear any.
I just gradually picked it up. Yeah.
It's wonderful. All right. So listen, all of this has been fairly odd. I think that by now everyone's aware of the group situation and how you win that. But there have been situations in the Olympics where teams have celebrated scoring what, in terms of the outcome of the game, would be meaningless goals and losses. I know it was Sweden or Finland had to pull their goalie when they were up in a game to try to get more goals. How do you like the setup of the Olympics? What it's like with the men?
It's definitely pretty bizarre when you look at, it was Sweden playing Slovakia. So Sweden ends up winning 5-3 against Slovakia. But because Slovakia technically has the goal differential in their games against Sweden and Finland, they won their group. And so it's ironic that Sweden, who probably enters the tournament as probably the bronze medal favorite when you look at just the talent they have up and down their lineup, they're now the 7th seed, and they're most likely going to have to play Team USA in the quarterfinal, which Team USA, that's not an easy road. I think everyone's expecting it's going to be USA-Canada going for the gold medal game, but they've got a pretty tough matchup going into that next round. So it's definitely different. It's not often, again, you see like Slovakia celebrating after a loss in the group stage, and you have Sweden pulling their goalie. It's a little bit different, but again, it's Olympic hockey. You have a lot of stuff that's odd, right? You can't have any fights. You can't do anything like that. So I think you take it for what it is.
Well, Tom Wilson disagrees.
The NHL. Exactly. I'm kind of surprised that, he gets doesn't get like a suspension or anything for that, which I wouldn't agree with. I think you saw just how electric these games can be when you have Four Nations and you have all that buildup and that physicality. But I think if you're going to play on the Olympic stage, you have to deal with some of the differences with it, whether it be the goal differentials, the fact that I don't think any hockey fans can watch highlights at all because the IOC is blocking all of it. You have some restrictions on the way, but if it means you're getting best on best hockey in the Olympics, I think any hockey fan will take that.
Where would you put, sorry, Hardy, where would you put the intensity level for this one in comparison to Four Nations? Because nothing's going to top Four Nations, but do you think this is close to that kind of intensity or another step down?
I think it's probably right now a step down, but I also probably would say that falls in line with the fact we haven't gotten to the elimination stages yet. So, like, what happens now when it's likely going to be USA-Sweden? Like, how's that game going to go? I think you've had a lot of these groups that haven't really been tested yet. You've had a few close calls, right? But you haven't had a key matchup between, maybe Sweden and Finland was a good matchup, but that was still, I think, 4-1 in favor of Finland. So whether it's the lack of physicality you've seen so far or just the way the group stages are where you're, Finland's beaten down Italy 11-0. You have Canada. They've been having their way with some of these teams. I think once you get to the next stage, you're going to see that intensity ratchet up a little bit. But again, whether it be how physical the Four Nations were, the fact that there wasn't a best-on-best competition for years, and those players were really dialed up for it, I'm not sure you're going to get anything as wild as, some of those USA-Canada games you saw up in Montreal especially.
And having said that, because the USA-Canada games were great, but who do you think this means the most to? And I know all these guys grow up, or for the most part, players in the NHL, they grow up playing in juniors and in world tournaments and stuff, but it does seem like this means more to the Swedish players or the Finnish players, and certainly the Canadians. Who do you think feels like the most juice about a tournament like this?
Yeah, it's a great question because I think everyone, where it's been so long for players to be in the Olympics, I think a lot of players are feeling the weight of it. You can look at Canada; they're the gold medal favorite. You've got guys that, you look, if they had NHL players in the Olympics for the last couple of tournaments, you'd be like, all right, well, they're just going to assume they're going to win gold. Like almost the pressure's off. But it's like you have that reputation, and you've got so many guys who this is their first opportunity. Yeah, you've got Crosby, who's won gold a couple of times, but you've also have franchise players like Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, even the younger guys like Macklin Celebrini, who's been great for them. You've got so many guys where this is their first Olympic opportunity. You don't want to be the team that gets back in the Olympics and then you lose to Team USA or Sweden or someone like that. And I think for Team USA, you're probably feeling the most pressure because the players themselves have said it, like, this might be their best opportunity. Like, you've had a stretch here with guys like Eichel, the Kachuk brothers, the Hughes brothers, McAvoy, all these types of players where you've had a great run of talent coming through the U.S. This might be your best chance because you can look 4 years down the road and, Sidney Crosby and those guys may not be out there. You're still going to have McDavid. You're still going to have Celebrini. You look at the next couple of drafts and the pipeline coming through Canada. Shocking, they're still going to be really, really good. So this might be Team USA's best chance in a long, long time. So I think they're feeling the pressure as well.
How much is Russia missed in this?
Mm-hmm. You're absolutely missing it. And as far as just the talent, I mean, you look at just their goaltending. You can make the case they'd have the three best goalies between Vasilevsky, Bobrovsky, Shesterkin. You look at the talent they have. You're definitely missing some part of that where everyone knows like USA, Canada is the big draw, but having a team that I think a lot of groups root against in Russia beyond the history of, let's say it was even like a semifinal game and it's USA against Russia or Canada against Russia. You look at the star power, you look at the history between those teams on the international stage. I don't think you're missing a team like that as opposed to Sweden or Finland where, you want to beat them, but I don't think there's that rivalry, that hatred, unless we're talking about Sweden or Finland, right?
I bet you Canada's got a fair amount of hatred towards the United States right now.
Yes.
Based on, so from the Canadian side, I mean, there's a lot of national pride on the line. I'm not positive for the players, it's different, but just it's just an easier, us versus them for the United States when it's Russia. And they obviously, like, Ovechkin's not in this. And, like, there's, like,
Kucherov, who's the best player.
I mean, this does desperately miss them. Go ahead, Jonathan.
No, I was just, that was one of the questions that you took. But the other one is the Bruin involvement overall in this tournament.
I did take it from you.
You stole it. He saw your list.
I did. I hacked into your computer.
You did. I swear to God. How do you think the Bruin involvement overall has been? We talked about Swayman a little bit. How do you think McAvoy has looked? Even the minor leaguers that are involved in this tournament.
Yeah, I think McAvoy has been really solid. He's kind of been tasked to be just their stay-at-home kind of defensive equalizer, which I think you get the best out of McAvoy when he's kind of set in one spot, where you even saw in the Four Nations where he's not being the puck mover guy, right? He's not being the guy trying to do too much. He's kind of your physical player, your guy that's going to be anchoring your PK. And I think him playing with Quinn Hughes, again, most guys that play with Quinn Hughes, they look pretty good, but I think McAvoy has been very, very solid. He's second on the team in ice time. So I don't think there's any issues there. The rest of you guys, as you said, have been kind of quiet. Probably their most impactful player other than that is probably David Pastrnak, but the Czech team really has kind of been one of the more underwhelming groups. They were a team that you could have made the case could have been in the running for a bronze medal, and now they're in the knockout stage. And Pasternak's got 3 points in 3 games. Canada really shut him down, so it really hasn't been the tournament he wants. And then you've got a lot of guys that I'm sure the Bruins probably don't hate this, but you've got Elias Lindholm was a scratch in the last game against Sweden. Hampus Lindholm hasn't played, which, again, you probably want those guys to rest up if you're the Bruins. So I don't think they have any qualms about that. But other than that, probably their most impactful guy is the guy that's playing in Providence right now, and Dan Zlachmelis, who plays for Latvia, where he's had 2 goals against Germany. He was noticeable in the Team USA game. He caught Austin Matthews up high with an elbow that wasn't called, but hangs around the net. Another one of those types of players that you could see maybe he makes a a look here at the NHL level, maybe later on this season. Not like a blue chip kind of guy, but a guy that plays well in Providence, could get an opportunity later down the road.
Yeah, and I would imagine that. Do you think Bettman is upset that the gold medal game is at 8:30 in the morning on a Sunday?
I have to think so. You look at, if that is Team USA and Canada, right? That's one of the most anticipated hockey games in a decade plus, right? You look at just all the hype that comes with it, the fact that you have casual fans who, I mean, it's the Olympics. You got people who are watching curling and all these sports that are just, going through the stations, go on NBC and watch those. Like, it's a great way just to grow the game. And for it to be 8-10 a.m. on the East Coast, 5 a.m. if you're on the West Coast or, up in Vancouver or anything like that, I can't see why if their issue is that they don't want any games going on before or after the closing ceremonies, then why not have it at, 3 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday, right? Like,
right.
This is the most anticipated game. And so I think the NHL, they were going to cave to the players who have so desperately wanted to be in the Olympics, but I feel like there had to be more concessions, whether it's the start time for that gold medal game or, again, the fact that it's so tough to even watch these highlights. Like, you can't go on social media. You can't really find anything unless you're locked in and watching the game live. You're finding out about, like, the Swayman goal, trying to find a highlight of it hours later because no one's posting the clips. So it's good that the NHL and the players are over there in the Olympics, obviously, but there's still some growing pains along the way that you hope they fix by next Olympics, hopefully.
Yeah, I'm not even sure if this is a bump at all to the NHL. It's these games are on the middle of the day during the week. Like you said, there's no highlights. I can't find the Tom Wilson fight anywhere. Just still photos of it. So I don't think many people are going to watch that gold medal game. Like you said, it's 5 o'clock in the morning, 6 o'clock in the morning, all over Canada and the United States. It just seems like kind of a waste of time for anyone but the players, because I don't know, I don't know how many people are going to see it. I mean, I'd get up in the morning and watch it, but only if it's U.S. Canada.
The other part of the problem is
I'm not going to get up and watch and not do something because it's not U.S. Canada.
And this will look forward. I think the next winter games are, France in 2030.
Yes.
So, I mean, this problem isn't going away the next time around also.
I'll be there because I've fallen in love with the skeleton. So I'll be there. The skeleton racing. It's quite head first.
Oh, yeah. It's not luge.
No, you fall head first.
It's not like they invented the sport.
You get hurt
just to do it. Yeah.
All right. Connor Ryan, thank you so much. Read him at boston.com. And hockey will be back here in the United States next week. So we look forward to that. All right, Connor, thank you so much.
Yep. Thanks for having me, guys.
All right. Appreciate it. There you go. Connor Ryan.
Nice.
I've seen very little of this. We saw Sweden-Finland right here in studio.
Yeah.
Thanks to Nicholas.
Yeah, Nicholas saved the day. Today is women's hockey at the Olympics.
But it doesn't start until 10:40.
Well,
you see, that's the problem. Can't even watch that.
I don't care about that. But
why not?
Because I'm not a fan of women's hockey.
Oh.
What?
Yes, I am not by law required to like everything. No, I like women's figure skating over men's figure skating because I'm evolved.
I think they're better at it. It's kind of like women's tennis. It's a better product.
You could make the argument
back and forth.
You could make the argument that women's tennis is a superior television product to men's tennis. You certainly could make that argument. Equal pay now in those majors. So there you go. All right, we'll be back in just a moment. Here are the headlines.
Sports Hub headlines, presented by Celsius Energy.
are Toucher and Hardy.
Ryan's yucking it up back there with Nick about something. I hate seeing him happy. What is it?
What are you guys making fun of Hardy about?
Yeah.
No answer.
We were making fun of we were having a little fun with the Good Feet store ad that was just playing. The Good Feet. Yes.
Yeah. Good feet.
Let your dogs out at the Good Feet store.
They're back there vamping.
The two of them. Cutting up. Cutting up on President's Day when they should really be honoring George Washington's birthday.
Yeah, how are you celebrating?
Yeah, that's the real question. How am I celebrating?
Yeah.
Well, my son popped a tire on his car yesterday, so I get to go pick that up.
Nice.
Apparently, we bought it with no-name tires. They're no-name tires. I got the people we like to use. They're going to put a new tire on it, but no-name tires. Yeah, I get a call last night from my son, and he's like, I popped my tire. I ran over a curb. And he's like, he's like, I'm sorry. And I'm like, nah, it's not. It's all right. When I worked in Dorchester, I popped a tire every other week.
Didn't even need to go over a curb.
No, I popped a tire every other week with that. My Bronco, miraculously, I don't know if it's the tires or that we work in Waltham where there aren't belt buckles and needles and all kinds of crap. And,
I did that. I had the belt
landmines
buckle attached to my tire of my car.
Landmines littered across the roads, but
amazing.
And oddly enough, street sweepers almost every day. Street sweepers out that you get stuck behind on the way home from work. The street sweepers though just recirculating the garbage.
I got something in my tire in Brighton that looked like a fish hook that you could land a great white with, and like this thing was just in there and had bent itself around. Like what? How? Where?
It got to the point in Dorchester where my wife at the time and I, at her suggestion, were looking in the driveway to see if people were like deliberately putting stuff to pop tires. Like it got to the point where I think there were some people in the audience that questioned if tires were really popping, so I started putting them up on Twitter. I started taking a picture of the wheel, and then people speculated that it was the same picture, but it was not. It was just the tire would get blown. One time it got blown, and I was on methadone mile or something, and I said, you know what? I'm driving on this rim home.
Which
I'm headed back.
I remember that.
If this car breaks down, if this rim falls off, it's not going to be on methadone mile. I'm getting that. I'm leaving here. My car, people are honking at me. My car's like because it was a Jaguar, so it's just it's like low to the ground and all cheaply made. So it's all like thrusting around. Oh, they're not good cars. No, dude, they put the wrong door on it.
I remember that
when they made it. It wasn't like the dealership did it. It's
but
like
at
when
least
they
you were
made
able to swap it out quickly.
Yeah, it took 4 weeks to put that new door on.
So once you drove home on that wheel, how badly damaged was the wheel?
So the wheel or the rim?
Okay,
so the rim, I was told by mechanic guy that I trust, it's all BS. You can drive on a rim. He said it takes so much to actually warp a rim. He's like, that's crap. But the tire, it was gone.
Oh yeah, but that's interesting because my whole life I've been deathly afraid. It's like, oh my God, if this tire's even low, you can't drive on it. And I read something. Maybe I heard you talking about it, Fred, when it happened. And since then, I've read the same thing. It's like, oh yeah, if your tire's flat, you can go ahead and drive on it. I mean, don't drive back and forth to work for a week.
Well,
but
yeah,
if you
that's
gotta
just
drive
horrible for the car.
Yeah, you got to drive, like a mile or something to get to a better place. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, I was like, I'm broadcasting from home today. I'm like, if you think I'm going deeper into this with this, I'm going back as far. Get me back to Route 9. That's all I need. Get me back to Route 9 and I'll be okay. If I break down on Route 9, I can handle it. If I break down on methadone mile, I don't want to break down pitch black on methadone mile. No, thank you. Oof. I don't need that. You coming into work? Nope. I'm turning around. I'll catch you from my my living room. That's where I'm doing the show today.
Got to get them run flats, which sometimes don't work either.
Well, for some reason, this Jaguar had to have. It's funny. I was pumping gas the other day, and I'm like, you know what? I've never touched the tires of this Bronco. I've never had to touch them. I've never had to put air in them. I was putting air in the tires of that Jaguar twice a week. No joke. Like, and if I had to drive far away, like if Milo had a baseball game, I would have to like drop them off and pull into a gas station and put air in the tires. They were not, and obviously, you know, they weren't cheap. They had to be inflated at like some ridiculous PSI, like super inflated. Like it was just ridiculous. I didn't realize, like I did realize at the time it was a pain in the ass, but it's funny that I just thought of it. I was pumping gas yesterday, and I was like, you know, I used to be at that air thing twice a week at the mobile on
Just to
Walnut
carry a
Street.
roll of quarters in your car just because you knew you were going to be using that thing.
They saw me coming. They got a credit card that you could use.
Good.
So, yeah, like that car was a nightmare. My suggestion is do not buy a Jaguar. I guess if you're super into them and you want like some vintage one or something, but to my experience,
what was a status symbol for you at the time?
no, it was I like just Googled like best car of whatever year I bought it was, and they were like the most fun to drive is this Jaguar, like of the price range I could afford. It wasn't like a, you know, like an $80,000 to $70,000 car. I mean, it wasn't. I don't think it was $60,000.
Didn't Ford take over Jaguar?
Yes, and that's why I bought it, because it was still like an American car technically. But I mean, I could afford it it wasn't like ridiculously expensive. Maybe I should have gotten one that was ridiculously expensive. I could have. Maybe the tires wouldn't have popped every 5 seconds, and maybe they would have put the door on right. So status symbol, no. No, it was not a status symbol.
Wrong door.
It was fast.
No, the best part was every time it rained, it would like leak inside.
Yeah, that's because the door was on wrong. They put the wrong door on because I took it in and I'm like, why is it leaking? And they go, oh, they put the wrong. No, I dropped it off, and 5 days later they said they put the door on wrong. So I went, oh, fantastic.
Then it was another 3 weeks after that to get the door replaced.
And that I kind of understood, because I mean, it must be kind of, I'm not kidding, it must be like kind of hard to get a whole door. Like how often do I guess you have to get doors because people get in accidents and stuff. But I don't know. It's this Bronco, I've never had a problem with it. It's only, now watch, it's going to break down on the way home. But
how long have you had it?
I've had it. How long have I had the Bronco, John?
A couple years now, right?
Like 3 years?
You had to wait like 2 years for it.
It was around COVID because I couldn't get it. So
you waited through COVID.
I bet you this is my 4th year with the Bronco.
Oh, that sounds right.
Yeah. All right. We'll be back in just a moment. The NBA Celebrity All-Star Game. John watched it because he has to stay on his toes, you know, in case the Celtics call on it.
That's right.
He was watching that, and he has a quiz for us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Toucher and Hardy, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Studios. This is Boston's home for sports. The flagship station of the Patriots, Bruins, the Celtics, WBCFM and HD Boston 98.5, the Sports Hub. Beasley Media Group station celebrating 65 years of broadcasting. Essential Sports Hub headline presented by Celsius Energy Drinks.
NBA All-Star Game took place last night in Los Angeles. The U.S. Stars team beat Jaylen Brown's U.S. Stripes team in the final, 47-21 in a 12-minute quarter. Anthony Edwards, 8 points in the championship game for the winning team. He was voted the MVP of the night. At the Winter Olympics, the U.S. men's hockey team swept their three-game preliminary schedule. They beat Germany 5-1 yesterday. Austin Matthews, 2 goals. U.S. will be the 2 seed in the knockout round. They'll play the winner of tomorrow's first-round game between Sweden and Latvia on Wednesday in the quarterfinals. The U.S. women's team plays Sweden today in the semifinals at 10:40 Eastern Time. Red Sox held their first full squad workout yesterday in Fort Myers, Florida. Tyler Reddick won yesterday's Daytona 500 in a car co-owned by Michael Jordan, and Colin Morikawa won the Pebble Beach Pro-Am by 1 shot. Sports Hub headlines are brought to you by Rapid Flow Sewer and Drain Cleaning. Are you an experienced drain cleaning or pipe rehab tech? Rapid Flow is hiring and part of Local 12 to give you great retirement and healthcare benefits. Call 800-286-FLOW or visit rapidflowinc.com. I'm John Wallach at Boston's Home for Sports, 98.5 The Sports Hub. Your next update at 9:30.
Are you actually coaching the game, or it's just that is? I feel so strongly about that. I can't even tell you.
Boston Talk Sports here.
What do we got?
The Sports.
It's never changed. It's never changed. It's the same thing over and over and over and over. It's just never good. It wasn't funny the first time.
Toucher and Hardy, mornings on the Sports.
Hardy, you can watch us on YouTube. Subscribe to 98.5 The Sports Hub on YouTube. I take it because it's a holiday. If you're listening to this show, you're listening to it on podcast. So thank you for downloading that. Subscribe to the podcast, and then it gets our numbers through the roof.
Yeah, check the standings. We haven't done that.
I never thought of the standings, and then I forgot about them, so I don't want to think about them again.
Okay.
I don't need to know the standings. Felger and Maz during the Super Bowl week were very high in the standings.
Oh, there you go.
I didn't see any of the All-Star Game festivities. I understand that it was a celebration of being back on NBC because of and I'm sure it meant a lot to people watching it that it was back on NBC, which we missed so much. I mean, the networks is what we truly love.
I miss the Bob Costas monologuing. I missed that a lot.
Because
Thank God we got that.
I was busy seeing Wuthering Heights, and you want to hear a line from the AV Club review of it?
Yeah.
Instances of masturbation, voyeurism, adultery, and BDSM light simply lack the smack of taboo. No nudity.
Yeah.
No nudity. Not that I went in expecting it, but I mean, people said it was like super sexual, and it's all sex with clothes on. They're all like they're having clandestine sex, the two leads. And by the way,
that's Robbie Roadsteamer's style. Pull the sweatpants down 4 inches.
Yeah. Get it over with. Get to the main event. But apparently, this is a book, a romantic book. You know, It's a weird story because they grow up almost as siblings.
Yeah, did you read this in high school?
No,
it's a terrible book.
No,
it's one of the worst books ever.
No, but sometimes the movies, it's all right. You're in a dark room, not a lot of conversation. You focus on the screen. You got something to talk about afterwards, you know. But, yeah, Margot Robbie, who I guess the main character in the book is 18. Margot Robbie is not 18. No, she is not. All right, Johnny, but
yes.
Fill me in. So, okay, All-Star Game craziness yesterday.
Well, Fred, we have the All-Star Game, which is really 4 mini games because they've changed formats for the 8th time. We have the 3-point contest Saturday night. You have the skills competition. You have the dunk contest.
I know we're going to play a game with the celebrity, cutting to the chase,
yes.
the celebrity All-Star Game, but You could just name the contestants of the 3-point contest or dunk contest, and I wouldn't know who the hell they are.
Definitely the dunk contest.
Yeah,
I'm not going to know.
Yeah, the 3-point contest.
Who won the dunk contest? Was it the white guy that's not even in the NBA?
No, McClung. He was not in the contest this year for some reason. I don't know why. He was still a member of a roster. I think Chicago had him. But he was not in the contest this year.
You know what's strange about the dunk contest now, and it's like everything else that just things evolve. Like you go to a high school game now, and kids can windmill dunk.
Yeah,
it's not as impressive anymore. It's just people used to not be able to dunk. Like my son can dunk. You know, it used to be no one could dunk. It's just like throwing 90.
Yeah,
it used to be like, oh my God, this guy throws 90 miles an hour. Now there's 400 kids in the state that throw 90 miles an hour.
The dunk contest, people were jumping over things and over people for a while, and I think based on the highlights I saw, it was back to what it was before. People just jumping and dunking, not using props.
Yeah, because I saw the highlights of the white guy from the past, and it was just essentially him in various situations jumping over different stuff while taking a ball out of a guy's hands. And but his feet aren't clearing the guy. He's doing the splits to clear the guy. So, I mean, look, it's very impressive that he can jump like that. I take it he's not very tall, which is the whole point of this.
Yes.
But, I mean, small schools, kids could dunk. My son can't windmill dunk or anything. He can barely dunk. But there was a kid on his team his freshman year, 360 dunk. Dunk without running in game.
Yeah.
So not as impressive, but all right. So there was an all-star game, Johnny. And
Celebrity all-star game that was Friday night that kicked off the festivities, and there were a lot of people from the entertainment industry making up both teams. And since you guys are very plugged into that, I figured I would quiz the two of you. There are six of them here. 3 from each team. And, of course, we had the red team against the blue team. Red team coached by the Antetokounmpo brothers, Giannis, Alex, and Thanasis, were the triumvirate head coach of the red team. So,
Thanasis, of course, NBA star.
Right. And the thing is, when Milwaukee...
I thought there was a Jokic spray. Oh, it's Tenactin. Go ahead.
Almost. I figured when Milwaukee trades Giannis, they're going to have to get rid of the other two guys also. Because
wait, both brothers are on the team?
I think Alex is a member of their G team. Thanasis sits on the end of the Milwaukee bench.
I knew that because my son told me he was on the team, and I told him he was crazy, and it turned out being true.
It's there. He's there. So you get rid of one, you got to get rid of all of them. So my first question to you is, this is a member of the red team, Glorilla. Who is Glorilla?
Glorilla is the mascot for a floor shine product.
It's the guy who invented the ShamWow.
No, incorrect. Glorilla is a Memphis one.
Okay.
That's a problem, but I have a feeling you guys will redeem yourself as we move along.
Well, I mean, if you're going to talk about basketball and rap, it's the Make Them Say video where they're dunking on the 5-foot rim.
Master P, yeah. That's right.
Go watch that video. The dunks are so embarrassing. They're like as tall as the basket.
You can see the sign for the elementary school in the background where they're shooting at. They kind of take something away from it.
It's like, I question if Silk the Shocker can dunk on a 10-foot hoop.
Yeah. Wow.
They weren't even going off a trampoline. They were just going off at like a 6-foot basket. I mean, holy Moses. Go ahead.
This next gentleman won the MVP of the game, not to spoil it, but the red team did win. This is Rome Flynn. Who is Rome Flynn?
It's got to be a YouTuber.
Yeah, it's got to be some kind of YouTube situation.
That sounds like an online personality.
I'm sorry, you guys are incorrect.
We'll see you next year.
Rome Flynn is an actor, recent winner of a Daytime Emmy Award for his work on the soap opera The Bold and the Beautiful.
How attractive is Rome Flynn? Rome has almond-shaped brown eyes with a positive tilt and great eye spacing ratio. Thick eyebrows with high density.
Don't play
and a
AI
positive
on this
tilt.
show.
He has a compact
Turn off
face.
the AI. Turn off the AI. Who knew they were still making stories? Who knew they were still making... Did you know they still had soap operas? I'm not kidding.
I know it because I flipped past one not long ago, and somebody from what the hell's the one that I used to watch in college? Young and the Restless. Same cast member was still there.
See, Frasier and Leave It to Beaver on when we get home from work. So I'm not.
There's no time for flipping. You just go straight to the beef.
By the way, last night, 5 o'clock, Seinfeld pumping on Comedy Central on a Sunday.
Whoa. That's nice.
Hello.
That's nice.
Oh, yeah, it was good stuff. It was good stuff. It was the one where Elaine in the bagel place. She gets the guy from Kids in the Hall doesn't want her number anymore. All right, go ahead.
This last person.
She looked ugly.
From the red team winner of this event.
Yep.
Jenna Bandy. Who is Jenna Bandy?
Oh, from the Bandy track. That's from There Will Be Blood. So she is the eldest daughter of William Bandy, who would not sell to the Daniel Day-Lewis character until he attended church.
Well, I know this. She was a right-wing podcaster because she was at the inauguration.
I'm sorry, folks. That's incorrect. Jenna Bandy is a content creator, played college basketball at Cal State Monterey.
There's always those trolls out there. Oh, she's so cringe. I don't look like the typical female hooper that you see in the WNBA today, you know? It's
So I
funny
take it
all the
she's
time,
hot.
just growing.
What's
I
that?
take it she's hot.
Yeah, she's pretty good looking.
Well,
800.
she says that's her saying, which is kind of. I would be a little offended if I was a WNBA player. When she says I don't look like the typical WNBA player, I don't think it's because she has a huge mole on her face or something.
Oh, yes.
Or she's like missing a hand.
No.
I think it's because she's saying that she's better looking.
Yep.
Than the typical WNBA player.
What's her name?
Jenna Bandy, 844,000 followers on Instagram.
Yeah,
See, the thing is
looking at her Instagram right
it's
now.
like those women make more than the WNBA players because of I guess if you are this is basketball obviously, but I guess if you are a big influencer for a niche sport like any niche sport, like just say skiing is a niche sport, like because it's not popular on TV, like because you have like a hold of that audience that people following you just are because you ski and they ski.
Mm-hmm.
That those are very lucrative sponsorship deals because they know they have you're honed into the exact audience that they want. Like I guess there's like lacrosse women that get way more money than you would think because the lacrosse brand is like, we don't have much of an advertising budget, so we'll just give it to this chick because everyone that follows her is a lacrosse player. Do you understand what I'm saying?
Yes. Yeah.
Was any of that interesting or was I bad?
Yeah, no. It's Jenna Bandy looks like Jennifer Coolidge.
A little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Now or from Best in Show?
Kind of now.
So why is she saying she doesn't look like the typical WNBA player?
I don't know.
Because, again, unless she's missing stuff.
Yeah. You see?
Wowzer! Hot dog! Woo!
Yeah.
Man.
Now I get it.
Wow, 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 wow.
Yeah.
Yes, indeed.
850K follow her.
Oh, and she goes to Topgolf, so Hardy all of a sudden is intrigued.
No, wowzers.
Oh, she's got quite a swing on her.
There you go.
All right, what else?
Let's move over to the blue team. The head coach was actor Anthony Anderson.
Yeah,
So
yeah,
these
he's
next
from
three.
Blackish, of
Yes. Who is Mustard?
These are the celebrities.
He's a WEI host.
Now, was Johnson on the team also?
No.
You know, one of them was a Yankee fan, so it caused quite a conundrum for people.
Get into it.
Yeah, if you ever wanted to really feel like your life meant nothing, that was when that was going on. Mustard.
Yes, who is Mustard? I'll give you know what? I'll give Beaton credit. Beaton knew this one.
Okay. His name, it's a he, I take it?
It is.
I don't know. I've already done my joke.
Yeah.
Okay. Mustard is a very popular music producer for a lot of top recording artists, including this guy.
It is not their fault. That would be my own ignorance. Again, you have
Now,
to be...
has he hooked up with Pat McAfee? Because he likes to surround himself with people who are good at music.
I think Dookie was his, yeah.
Well, I think he went to a more a country type situation, perhaps a Kid Rock. All right, now Because, a certain stature of celebrity is not going to participate in this thing.
Yes.
All right, so go ahead.
We have Andre DeGrasse. Who is Andre DeGrasse?
Oh, well,
Neil deGrasse Tyson's son from his first marriage.
No, he runs a Canadian high school.
Is that right?
And you're pronouncing it wrong. It's DeGrasse.
Oh, my mistake. Actually, you're kind of close. He's a Canadian
Spike
sprinter.
was a punk rocker who had an abortion. Or no, she had the kid. She had the kid when she was like 14. My mistakes, Spike.
Andre DeGrasse, a Canadian sprinter, won gold medal in the 2020 Olympics.
Now DeGrasse trying to come through on the inside.
I believe
Andre
you.
DeGrasse, is he
going to say the same thing. I'll take your word for it.
I'll take your word for it. No need to hear the highlights from a race that I didn't watch.
One more. Taylor Frankie Paul. Who's that?
Oh, of course, from Malcolm in the Middle.
Right.
No,
He's got it.
That's it.
Home Improvement?
No. A reality star. A reality star.
From Big Brother.
No, Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
People say I do it all for attention.
One of the most shocking stories in mom influencing.
The Mormons can hoop, though.
Oh, absolutely. And it's even part of when they go on a mission, they're like not allowed to do a lot of stuff. And I believe one of the rules is you can only play half-court basketball. I'm not kidding.
Why?
Because there's a bunch of rules. Like, there's like all these rules when you go on a mission.
Why? What half court is opposed to full court?
I think maybe the idea is you're withholding pleasure in some areas, like as a deference to God. And I do believe that half court basketball is one of the things that's eliminated, as is soda, and all sinful activity.
Yeah,
sure.
Obviously, is eliminated.
Nothing
too.
mind altering, no caffeine, no nothing.
Right. No soda. There's no soda. That's absolutely true. All right. Well,
so I'm sorry, guys. You guys didn't do very well there.
No, I missed all the All-Star festivities. And now I'm convinced the NBA is in trouble because my son said to people, are you afraid that the NBA is not going to be around anymore? And I know it's just my son and it doesn't mean anything. But sometimes when you hear a 17-year-old question if a league is going to stay in existence, then you start going, I wonder what the future holds.
Well, I mean, the NBA is doing its best to change things.
Are your kids big NBA fans?
One son is. One son. The reason he was watching is because Damian Lillard, who won the three-point competition, despite not playing a second at all this season, they invited him and he won the whole thing.
Yeah.
So my son's a huge Lillard fan, was watching the All-Star game stuff with me last night.
Now, you didn't make him be a Celtics fan?
No.
Oh.
Nope.
You don't have that kind of control that I have.
No, obviously not.
No, I made my son a Jets fan. I said, you will suffer.
He loves Lillard. Wore 0 during travel basketball. Loves Lillard. So that was the thing.
Yeah, my son completely no interest in the NBA at all. And he plays basketball all the time, but no interest in the NBA. No interest at all. He's like his dad. I like college basketball.
Yep.
I like watching Michigan State lose by 20 to an unranked Wisconsin.
Did you bet second half? Did you?
I did, and they were down something like 17 points at the half, and I bet them to win, which would have paid me a good deal of money.
King's ransom.
And they never came even close. I think they cut it to 15 at one point.
Oh.
Well, you ride her till she bucks you, and I believe you've been bucked.
Yeah. I have been bucked. Yeah. But listen, I'm still swimming in Super Bowl cash as I hit every bet I made on the Super Bowl, including huge props. I'm sure that interests everyone. All right. I imagine we're flush with emails, it being a holiday and all. So dig them up, gentlemen.
All right.
All right. So we will have our award-winning email segment coming up in just a moment.
Stay tuned for more Toucher and Hardy on the Sports Hub.
should do the email bit. It's a great idea. Let's do the email bit.
Hey, we are Toucher and Hardy. And the email segment is powered by the great Jeffrey Glassman Injury Lawyers. If you've been hurt in a car or work accident, you got to get Glassman. Don't just send an email. Call all sevens at 617-777-7777 or visit gottagetglassman.com. If you ever have the urge to email us, you can find our email addresses at 985thesportshub.com. If you are looking for a saucy social media play, Nicholas runs our accounts, and you can yell at me about things he posts about himself. Like when he teased that we were doing the medical records thing about the horrible day being covered in his own poo and pee. People were yelling at me for posting it when it was Nicholas's idea in the first place, which it was a good idea and gave us very good content on Friday, or on Thursday or whenever we did it. And he they immediately yelled at me for putting that up there. I do not run the @Toucher and Hardy accounts. They're of no use to me personally, for I do not own them.
And really, like you said, that was great on Friday. See what you did.
Well, at least I realized that.
You were about halfway through, and it's like, oh, that's what I'm doing.
Well, I mean, I'm teasing out well, it came to me. It's not. It wasn't. I didn't think of it beforehand.
Sure.
Nick did a great job of telling the story and providing us with the medical records. His wife called in, which was awesome. Someone did email in immediately afterward. Said, you guys missed something relating to sickly Nicholas and his now wife. When asked if he knew in the moment that she was the one, he answered confidently, yeah. But when she called in and was asked the same question, she fumbled around with her words and confirmed, no, she did not know that he was the one.
Which is not true, because she was that pissed. What she did state, which it was kind of, I was joking when I said it, I thought I was exaggerating it, when she thought that Nick was ghosting her, and when she saw the bedroom door closed, she heard moaning and thought she really did think Nick was in there with a girl. So if she was that upset, now Nick gave her a key 4 months into the relationship, which does seem insane. But look, they're married now, so it all worked out. But she was that pissed about Nick not contacting her.
But there's a difference between pissed and knowing that he was the one.
Well, I would say that she's pretty close. I mean, if she cared that much. Nick, how long had you guys been dating? You can just put up like fingers or go to a mic. 4 months. I got news for you. Dating a girl, if I'm dating a girl for 4 months and she ghosts me, it's going to hurt my feelings, but I'm certainly not invested enough to go to someone's house and go check on him. So she must have really loved Nick.
Jonathan stands by his assessment and says, Nicholas, it was not, in fact, love at first wipe.
Stole my film. Nick, I'm with you. I think that you two kids knew that you were meant for one another. And I think that's why she was upset. And I think that's why she saved you. And I think that was the universe telling you two to be together. How do you like that? A couple days past Valentine's Day. I'll give you that. Write that in a note to her, Nicholas, and put it under her pillow and let her find it at her leisure. And just have thoughts of the universe melded our souls together, and I knew it because you wiped me clean when I was covered with my own feces. Love, your husband, Nick. Wouldn't that be sweet?
Yeah.
And spray it with a little cologne. Your scent. Rub it between your legs and let the pheromones capture the paper.
Does Nick have thigh gap? That's a thing online.
The answer to that, Hardy.
No.
What's thigh gap?
Well, he might, because thigh gap is something that occurs when, the thighs touch like in the middle portion, but then you get that gap right before the crotch area.
That's an online thing?
Yeah, I would have to see you like in skivvies like a Speedo or something to really find out if you have a thigh
Don't do it,
gap.
Nicholas.
Yeah,
Don't do it.
Don't demean yourself this way.
Well, think about it.
Not necessary.
Sean said, hey, Hardy, please make Fred let you have his segment to talk about Pebble Beach today. The end of the NFL season is depressing for all football fans, and this year in particular for Pats fans, so I loved getting to spend my entire Sunday afternoon watching some awesome golf. Something I hope more fans branch out and try to watch. As a longtime fan who was especially happy for its return, I'd love to hear more discussion of golf on 98.5 in general. I feel you're just the guy to tee it off, as it were, for this new golf season.
98.5 The Golf Club!
Well, when does the golf club come
that
back?
is Sean and Rozzy.
We're only 2 months away from the return of the golf club.
Yeah, maybe. We'll see.
Whoa.
This is news.
Somewhere.
No.
A lot of guys that cut the grass at local golf courses are panicking.
This is breaking news here.
I'm going to wait and see if anyone asks. And if they don't.
Really?
Yeah.
You're going to give this up?
Where are golf shoe retailers going to come
my
to
God.
spin yarns?
Groundskeepers with stemp meters are pissed.
Do you think that I could serve the same audience and accomplish the same by turning it into a podcast?
No.
No.
Part of the beauty is that it's live. You know? Part of the beauty is that you're up on Sunday mornings doing it live.
We gotta start a letter writing campaign. Something here. This is terrible news.
I think it occurred to me 2 Sundays ago when I was up, like drinking coffee at 6:45 and just settling in, me and the dog on the couch, getting ready to watch some news and just hang out. And I thought, in a couple of months, I'm going to have to, make sure that the show is ready to go.
How many years have you been doing this?
13, I think. 12, 13. I started in 2013, so this will be the 14th year, I guess.
You know what, Fred? Once we get within sniffing distance of the Masters, the bug, he'll catch the bug.
Yeah, I catch the bug, but then by like May, I'm like, what am I doing?
Well, what you're doing is you're talking
preparing
to
for
local
another
greenskeepers.
major. Yeah.
You're getting free things. You're interviewing people in the effort to get free things.
That's not the goal of the Sports Up Golf Club. How dare
There's
you.
there's 7 days a week. You need 7 hats and 7 quarter zips, and you need. There's things that you need.
Yeah.
What are you going to have to go to Golf Warehouse and do it yourself?
Golfers Warehouse in Braintree. Yes.
No, that's a faucet that turns off if you stop.
Yeah, and they might not even include you in the television commercial anymore if you stop doing the golf show. You're synonymous with golf.
Yeah.
In the area. You have the one live golf show.
You can't be stopping.
Sunday mornings.
Stop that.
I say you make it 2 hours.
It is.
Hardy
It is telling that there's like satellite syndicated programming going on until 7 a.m. Then the golf show starts. It ends at 8. Do you know what happens then?
More syndicated programming.
Satellite syndicated programming.
Yeah, but it's
Fox
appointment
Sports?
listening.
When does the current affairs show air? Do we still have that?
Is Matt Schaefer still on the air?
That's a great question.
Yes, it airs Sunday mornings at 6 o'clock across the entire cluster.
Oh, one person does it for all of Beasley?
Let's talk about cheese.
Well, that doesn't serve the local community at all.
Tomatoes.
That's just some talking head. He could be broadcasting from Kuwait for all we know. I want to know when Schaefer did it. It was what was affecting us locally.
Hummus,
like the local hummus factory.
Hummus.
I can't believe you're even considering that. You know he's going to do it. Too.
I told you, once we get close enough where the majors are, and the majors are all stacked toward the beginning of the summer, right?
You do it live during the Masters, right?
Yeah.
Because it's his chance to flex his muscles.
Seriously, the PGA Tour the majors are all together, right? They're all like within weeks of each other now.
No, there's one a month.
Yeah.
April, May, June, July.
So you're never going to get bored of this. You got another major to look for. You got the Players' Championship coming up. Come on.
I was in the car the day Hardy did the golf show coming back from Augusta, after he got back from Augusta, and I heard him. I remember I was driving Milo to some game, and it was just me and him, and Hardy breathlessly taking you through parking his car to walking up to Augusta.
Got to leave the phone in the car, though. Got to leave. That's part of it. Got to leave the phone in the car.
Security.
Yeah.
He took you step by step through the grounds.
Oh,
Augusta
it started at landing at the Augusta airport and renting the very last car available, a Mitsubishi, which I didn't even know they still made anymore.
I had a Mitsubishi before. I had a leased Mitsubishi.
Nice, huh?
Great car.
Yeah.
Super manly, too. Cherry red convertible. It's nice. Because I was in the South, so I figured put the top down, have some fun. It was great. No problems at all.
No.
Real,
my next door neighbor,
American muscle.
My next door neighbor in Vegas, who was married to a much younger former adult dancer, that was her car. She had a Mitsubishi convertible.
I had a Mitsubishi Eclipse convertible, cherry red.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hers was more like a teal.
The best is when they just cut the roof and took everything out of it, and then there was nothing of value, so it was just scattered about Atlanta. And I would get calls from people saying, "I found a page of your planner.
Keep it."
And I'd be, I listen. One of them ended up being an ex-boyfriend of the girl I was dating. Called up and he's like, "Hey, Fred," because I was on the radio. He's like, "I found your planner."
So that's how they broke into your car. They sliced through the rag top.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. And I leased it, so I had to pay.
And that scared you off of leasing.
And that scared me off of leasing. My mother leases cars, but not me. All right, John, do you have an email?
I do. I have one that just came in based on our last discussion. Hey, Birdbrain, I'm listening live. I'm not podcasting. Tell Hardy to get off his ass and start the show on time, or I riot! !
Yeah, he's going to do the golf show. Hardy can't turn down work. That's the thing. Is that Hardy can't turn down
You
work.
have fans of the show that are listening right now that are upset that you're considering this.
Yeah. I mean, people that wake up early and need to go back to sleep. Now they're going to have to turn to the internet for their drowsy entertainment.
Or was this some kind of plea to make himself feel better for doing the show, making sure that people listening, he wants those people to come out of the woodwork, say, you know what? I listen to you, Hardy.
It's like the golf show's encore.
Yes.
It's like 98.5, the golf club's encore.
19th hole.
That's right. Hello! I know all you golf fans. I'm thinking about putting it all away. What's that, Mr. Greenskeeper? Oh, no. Hello? You make grips? You want a 45-minute interview on the air? Mr. Grip Maker, that can be done via Zoom.
Do you know somebody who makes grips? I mean, I've had guys on who just re-grip clubs, but I've never had a grip maker on.
I tape my own. Scotty Z, Scott Zolak. Hello, Scott.
Oh, this is Nick.
Oh.
Hi.
Oh. Nick, why'd you put Scott? Huh? What's his excuse?
He said he was in the process of doing it.
It says Scott Zolak Rentham.
It was a hiccup in the system.
It was a glitch.
So the system just says Scott Zolak? It just puts Scott
That's
Zolak
the default?
up?
Well, he calls the station so much that if they're not sure, it just defaults to Scott and Rentham.
Well, Nick, since I put you on, go ahead.
Thank you. Yes, I would like to say I was a caddy at the country club a lot in high school and in college, and I really enjoyed listening to the golf show on the way to work.
How many times were you on it? As a featured guest.
I called in once or twice.
Yeah, you did. And you got through. That's amazing.
Listen, I was a big fan of it. There's nothing worse when you're going to work at really early in the morning and there's nothing on the radio.
Well, yeah.
I'll hang up. Thank
so
you
want him
guys.
to stop.
See?
Now Scott's really calling.
All right. That's good.
I don't know how there's
He
a
should
glitch
be
that
here.
says
Why
Scott
is he calling?
Zolak.
He should be here.
Yeah, it's all right. Let Scott call in. All right, we got a break, though. We will be back in just a moment.
Sports Hub headlines.
Come see the amazing finance and lease offers happening every day at colonialvw.com. Yes, you can have it all at Colonial.
Fred, have you had any desire to go to the Sphere in Las Vegas?
No. I mean, I if I was in Vegas and something of interest was playing there, I would definitely check it out. What I don't like about it, and what I find interesting why artists would do it, is that I've only seen U2, like videos of U2, and it's almost like they don't even have to be there.
Yeah. There's an element of the music being secondary.
Yeah, like there's specs. Like every angle of it I've seen, like the band is almost because everything's illuminated. Like it's not shining on the band, so the band's like almost like if I was an artist, like if I guess like Pink Floyd, or if I was in some sort of music / art like Devo or something like that started as like an art collective, and visuals were a huge part of what I did creatively.
Right.
But like a U2, that's not it. You know?
So there is a band that is in talks to do a residency in 2027.
Okay, can I guess?
Yes.
Okay, so it's a band.
Yes, and the only other hint I'll give you is this would get me to plan a trip specifically.
No, I'm serious.
No, but I don't think REM would be necessarily lend itself to the Sphere.
REM gets back together?
311.
Oh, yeah. If they had the original lineup, I would definitely do that.
Oh, The Who?
No.
Okay, so REM and The Who are your two favorite bands, if I'm not mistaken.
But I think this band would absolutely lend itself to the Sphere experience. And I walked out of one of their shows once because they went into this like AV portion of it. Yes.
Okay.
I would go to Las Vegas specifically to see Tool at the Sphere.
So the only time I saw Tool, they were playing the Tabernacle in Atlanta, which is like a 2,000-seat venue, 1,800-seat venue. And it was like chaos to get tickets. Like there were fake tickets. Like it was this huge deal. Someone at our station made a guy pee himself for tickets. Like it was a whole thing. And I saw that. So I stayed to watch it. And it was the show where everything was syncopated to video. So like Maynard stood in one place. Yeah. By the way, he's doing interviews now, Maynard James Keenan, where he's very relatable. He's like almost apologizing for his past behavior because he says it came from a place of like great self-doubt, that he was like he was afraid of being vulnerable. Like he has very little friends. Like he feels it very difficult to communicate with other people.
I've noticed that too.
He hates himself.
I picked up on that
like
too.
Like he has this kind of self-loathing, he says.
It reminded me of Albini later on in his career when he was kind of reflective and apologetic.
So it is interesting, and if I could go back, because he was such a dick, in the record company guy said this guy is he's like, don't piss him off, you can piss him off. So I just interviewed the drummer from A Perfect Circle who had played with Guns N' Roses and stuff.
Josh Freese, right?
Josh Freese. And so it makes you think now that it's a valuable lesson. Maybe when people are that aloof in their kind of guarded and like prickly, it comes from their own lack of self-confidence. It comes from their own thing. So
speaking of Josh Freese, he was the drummer for Nine Inch Nails Friday night at the Garden. Great show, visually awesome. They had, kind of like that veneer over the stage so they could project images onto it and behind it, but you could still see through it. And they had a separate stage in the center, so they would go back and forth. Like Trent would get off that stage, run down the walkway they had cleared for him to get to the center stage, and then the main stage would just become like the projection screen for them, and then they would go back and forth. But Josh Freese, did we ever find out why he didn't last with Foo Fighters?
Same as always. They were just like, no, you're not drumming for us anymore. We got this other guy lined up.
Well,
and he doesn't care because he gets to play with Nine Inch Nails.
Yeah, and if I were Foo Fighters, I'd be like, well, that wasn't very smart because, again, on Friday night, he proved that he is, outside of Danny Carey, maybe the best drummer in rock and roll right now.
The problem is he has all that Vandals money from when he was in the Vandals. So now, like
he's got a few Vandals money.
Yeah, he's living that Joe Escalante money, And ladies and gentlemen, that is the Svengali behind the Vandals, is Joe Escalante. who had a TV show at one point that they had and made episodes of, a Saved by the Bell, like a punk Saved by the Bell with the other guy from Tenacious D in it. And when I interviewed him, I said, you were in the show that the Vandals made. That was terrible. And he did not like that I brought that up. Kyle Gass,
Rage Cage.
He broke character. He didn't like that and I wasn't being mean. I'm like, you were in that show that the Joe Escalante from the Vandals made. And he was like, yeah. And I'm like, yeah, like that was weird. Like, how'd that all come about? He's like, I don't know, just show. I'm like, Mr. Kyle Gass, pretty soon you're going to offend a lot of people.
Yeah, well, they're Tenacious D getting back together.
Well, Jack Black stood by him. That's the important thing.
Dick.
Who? Jack
Black?
Yeah,
Dick.
I know. He could have been a little more supportive. All right, that'll do it for us. Everyone have a great